foreign Kathmandu, Peter.
But remarkably, this is Texas. This is Pearland, Texas, as it looks like we're going to get a replacement ball delivered to the umpires. That's how hard that sweep shot was from Rohit Patil. Banged into the fence, and he took a chunk out of the ball as well from the looks of it. Got a tweet that just came in from Nishal Tiwari, who is the founder of Crick Nepal, one of the biggest websites that covers the Nepal national team in cricket. Tweeting in some photos from when he visited NASA a little bit earlier this year. And he's got some pictures of Independence Plaza, which is where they've got one of the NASA space shuttles that's rigged on top of a Boeing 747. So when the space shuttles re-enter Earth, this is one of the amazing things. They land at one of three sites. They can land at Cape Canaveral or White Sands in New Mexico or Edwards Air Force Base in California. And then they get the space shuttle on top of a Boeing 747 to fly it back to either Houston or another launch site. And it's one of the things you can visit. You can go inside the space shuttle. You can go inside that Boeing 747 and see how they're outfitted specifically to transport a space shuttle. So many great things to see at NASA as Connell uses his feet to come down the track. You can go inside Skylab. They've got the Skylab replica, the old space station up in space, the American space station. You can go and see what that looks like inside. They've got the SpaceX, the Elon Musk SpaceX rocket. That's over there at the Johnson Space Center. So if you want to see what the SpaceX rocket looks like, that's there on display. The Saturn rockets, so many things over there. This dot ball ends the over. 7 runs from it. 176 for 2 after 36. But I tell you what, Nepal are rocketing away here after winning the toss. I'm on huge platform. What can they get from this stage of the match?
Again, we've talked about in the last 10 overs, we've seen time and time again teams able to put 100-plus runs on the board in just the last 10 overs alone. So 300 seems very, very reasonable. We saw the U.S. in their first innings the other day put up 323. That seems to be on the cards here for Nepal.
As good as this wicket has been, though, you have to commend the efforts, really, since that second drinks break of USA to restrict the scoring rate. Nepal could have been running away, headed towards what USA posted a couple days ago, 323. And with mid-off up in the ring, Connell goes over the top. Just flat bats this wide of Ali Khan. And he collects 2 for that shot.
Yeah, again, didn't quite middle it. Found a little bit of an edge there, trying to get it really over a wide, long off region of the ground. With the wind, that shot was. So it was a pretty safe shot in the end with the fielder inside the circle. They would pick up 2.
The fielding lineman for USA at the moment is set to bowl short. They've got a cover sweeper, deep third man, deep fine leg, and a deep mid-wicket in place. Mid-off and mid-on are up in the ring. So, again, short ball. You can see Connell taking some risks here. Tehran is bowling a good length for this field, but I don't think USA will mind him trying to hit in the air over the top. Those are not drivable lengths, someone, so you're taking a little bit of risk trying to play that shot over mid-on and mid-off.
Yeah, and again, the U.S. will definitely take that. We've seen time and time again, you try to get deep in the crease on the back foot. Doesn't tend to work out for you. And if you're Dave Connell, might want to reassess. You've had a lot of success kind of running it down to third man, just picking up 1 every single delivery.
And again, pitch this up in the air. It's going to float to Gajanath Singh. And what a catch that is by number 46 in red, white, and blue. We talked about it. I was not the length to be trying that shot. Rusty Tehran hustles him and teasing Kana with that field with mid-off and mid-on up in the ring. USA, big credit to Rusty Tehran, to the captain, Monak Patel, for setting that field for that shot, and for Gajanath Singh with a stupendous catch at mid-wicket.
Well, I just talked about it. I thought running it down would have been safer. Dave Connell just tossed his bat up in the air out of frustration. Again, he knows he just kind of threw that wicket away. Gurjit Singh, for a moment, it looked like he misjudged that one. Took 2 steps forward before taking his steps back. Able to reach up. We saw the big hug from Rusty Theran there. And again, just dug it in short, daring Dave Connell to try it. Dared Dave Connell to try that one. Again, look at it. Digs it in short. Hurried him. And again, Gurjit Singh took 2 steps forward. Able to lean back and make the catch. You saw him get up with a little bit of a smile. Knew he made it harder than it needed to be, but it's a wicket nonetheless.
He's got a big smile on his face. You can imagine big smiles for his wife and daughter. That's why he wears 46. His wife's birthday is on the 4th. His daughter's birthday is on the 6th, the month of their births, and that's why he's got 46 on the back. So everything he does on the field is a tribute to the 2 most important women in his life. Watching back home in the Bronx, Gurjit Singh as the debutant. Adil Alam comes to the middle.
Nearly departed first delivery with him trying to run it down.
Muhammad, it's his full name, so that's why you see M. Alam. He goes by Adil Alam, making his ODI debut today for Nepal. And Adil Alam, he's already made a T20I debut for Nepal. Made that in March against Papua New Guinea at the Tribhuvan University International Stadium ground in Kirtipur, just outside of Kathmandu. So not his national team debut, but his ODI debut today. And he's got to wait for his opportunity because somehow, I don't know how this happened, the ball didn't seem like it was in the air for a long time, Alan, but somehow long enough for the lightning quick Rohit Paudel to cross to get on strike. So Adil is going to wait to face his first delivery, but you see him there. Adil Alam off strike, 18-year-old, number 55. As Paudel takes 2 there.
And again, for Alam, just got to delegate to his vice captain. Luswatham was looked in very good nick.
No run there, so it means Adil Alam will start the next over on strike on his ODI debut. 4 runs from it, but a incredible catch by Gurjit Singh to get that 3rd wicket. And Rusty Theran has struck in every game he's played. Here's another look at that wicket.
And you can see it diving back, able to get his hands on it. We saw him take a similar catch with a Yasir Mohammed when the United States took on Oman. That one was at mid-on. Didn't have to truly dive back, just had to jump as high as he could and outstretch his arms. And speaking of Yasir Mohammed, looks like they're going to bring him back on to the debutant.
So teenager versus teenager. Yasir Mohammed, the young fox from Old Bridge, New Jersey. Just 19 years old. He's got 1 for 26. You mentioned it, Aman. He's teamed up with Gurjit Singh a few days ago for that catch at mid-on against Oman. He took 2 wickets on his ODI debut. Got a 1 wicket here. Caught it short mid-wicket by the subfielder Cam Stevenson. Took an Asif shakeout. Too short, though, for the first delivery. And it's too easy for Adil Alam to get his first run in ODI cricket.
And I thought the whole ploy of bringing him in was to try to test Alam early with some googlies, with some spin. It just made it really easy, Yasir Mohammed. Again, I think he knows it. When he gets the ball wrong, when he gets it short, it's just disappointing. It just makes it any batsman in the world, they'll breathe a sigh of relief anytime a leg spinner goes short.
And an audacious shot. There's no fine leg in place. The danger is he's playing against the turn unless he's expecting the googly. And Yasir does bowl a lot of googlies, but there's no fine leg there. And immediately after just 1 attempt, Monak Patel adjusts the field. You can see Rusty Theran in the background running behind. He's going to try and cut off this shot. And somehow it missed off stump.
And again, if that one turned more, you're done if you're Rohit Badal.
Big slog sweep, and it's going to go all the way for 6 with the wind. He's anticipating the googly, hitting with the turn, and the wind blowing strongly in that direction. First 6 of the match goes to Rohit Badal.
Well, there's only the one fielder out in the deep, and he's at really a cow corner, pretty wide, more of a mid-wicket, and that's Sushant Wadani, so anything straight back down the leg side is going to be pretty safe shot. Again, use the straight bat, no fielder in sight. Wouldn't have mattered if there was a fielder there anyway.
This time he powers a drive to long off along the turf for a single.
And Peter, I don't understand why there isn't, as we see more poor backup from the United States costing another run. Why there isn't a long on or a cow corner type fielder? Why is that fielder inside the circle for Rohit Badal, especially with the wind blowing in this direction?
Yeah, at the moment, it's just one fielder in front of square on the boundary. You said it. Sushant Madani is out there kind of at a straight mid-wicket. And you can see again, Monak Patel's got a towel around his neck, showing how hot it is here in Texas, in Pearland at Musa Stadium. Monak Patel, we've seen some of the umpires have the towels around their necks, moist towels to try and keep them comfortable. And you can see behind the stumps, there's a very visible white towel around the neck of Monak Patel. Moist towel, that's just to kind of keep him refreshed because it is so insanely hot here. Too short, and that one is pulled fiercely but straight to Madani. Deep mid-wicket, so they're only going to get one. And another misfield collection by Honang. We saw 4 overthrows earlier. Bad throwing back.
Again, use the straight bat, no fielder in sight. Wouldn't have mattered if there was a fielder there anyway.
This time he powers a drive to long off along the turf for a single.
And Peter, I don't understand why there isn't, as we see more poor backup from the United States costing another run. Why there isn't a long on or a cow corner type fielder? Why is that fielder inside the circle for Rohit Badal, especially with the wind blowing in this direction?
Yeah, at the moment, it's just one fielder in front of square on the boundary. You said it. Sushant Madani is out there kind of at a straight mid-wicket. And you can see again, Monak Patel's got a towel around his neck, showing how hot it is here in Texas, in Pearland at Musa Stadium. Monak Patel, we've seen some of the umpires have the towels around their necks, moist towels to try and keep them comfortable. And you can see behind the stumps, there's a very visible white towel around the neck of Monak Patel. moist towel. That's just to kind of keep him refreshed because it is so insanely hot here. Too short, and that one is pulled fiercely, but straight to Modani. Deep mid-wicket, so they're only going to get one. And another missed field collection by Honang. We saw 4 overthrows earlier. Bad throw and back up on that delivery 2 overs ago, and almost another one. For Adil Alam to get his first run in ODI cricket.
And I thought the whole ploy of bringing him in was to try to test Alam early with some googlies, with some spin. And just made it really easy, Yasir Muhammad. Again, I think he knows it. When he gets the ball wrong, and when he gets it short, it's just disappointing. It just makes it any batsman in the world, they'll breathe a sigh of relief anytime a leg spinner goes short.
And an audacious shot. There's no fine leg in place. The danger is he's playing against the turn unless he's expecting the googly. And Yasser does bowl a lot of googlies, but there's no fine leg there. And immediately after just one attempt, Monak Patel adjusts the field. You can see Rusty Tehran in the background running behind. He's going to try and cut off this shot. And somehow that missed off stump.
Yeah, and again, if that one turned more, you're done if you're Rohit Badal.
Big slog sweep, and it's going to go. Oh! Alam will start the next over on strike on his ODI debut. 4 runs from it, but a incredible catch by Gajanan Singh to get that 3rd wicket. And Rusty Tehran is struck in every game he's played. Here's another look at that wicket.
And you can see it diving back, able to get his hands on it. We saw him take a similar catch with a Yasir Muhammad when the United States took on Oman, that one was at mid-on. Didn't have to truly dive back, just had to jump as high as he could and outstretch his arms. And speaking of Yasser Muhammad, looks like they're going to bring him back on to the debutant.
So teenager versus teenager. Yasser Muhammad, the young fox from Old Bridge, New Jersey. Just 19 years old. He's got 1 for 26. You mentioned it, Aman. He's teamed up with Gajanan Singh a few days ago for that catch at mid-on against Oman. He took 2 wickets on his ODI debut. He's got 1 wicket here. Caught it short mid-wicket by the subfielder Cam Stevenson. Took an Asif shakeout. Too short, though, for the first delivery. And it's too easy for Adil Alam to get his first run in ODI cricket.
And I thought the whole ploy of bringing him in was to try to test Alam early with some googlies, with some spin. And just made it really easy, Yasser Muhammad. Again, I think he knows it. When he gets the ball wrong, when he gets it short, it's just disappointing. It just makes it any batsman in the world, they'll breathe a sigh of relief anytime a leg spinner goes short.
And an audacious shot. There's no fine leg in place. The danger is he's playing against the turn unless he's expecting the googly. And Yasser does bowl a lot of googlies, but there's no fine leg there. And immediately after just one attempt, Monak Patel adjusts the field. You can see Rusty Turan in the background running behind. He's going to try and cut off this shot. And somehow it missed off stump.
Yeah, and again, if that one turned more, you're done if you're Rohit Badal.
Big slog sweep, and it's going to go all the way for 6 with the wind. He's anticipating the googly, hitting with the turn, and the wind blowing strongly in that direction. First 6 of the match goes to Rohit Paudel.
Well, there's only the one fielder out in the deep, and he's at really a cow corner, pretty wide, more of a mid-wicket, and that's Sushant Wadan.
and go over the top. We saw what happened when Dev Connell tried that shot to Rusty Tron when bowling's been back of a length with mid-off and mid-on up in the ring. And Saurabh Netravalkar not giving either player anything to drive so far in this over.
Yeah, and again, I think Nepal has also been very smart, just tickling it to that short mid-wicket region where there's no one in place and just taking one. They know Saurabh is not the bowler to go and attack. Take what you can and get out of the over.
Heave across the line. More of an inside edge. Goes out to Madani. And a deep square leg for one.
And I'm telling you, Peter, that's the matchup I'm looking for from the United States. Get Adil Alam on strike and bring on Saurabh Netravalkar, because he's the one that can really get him gone because of his angle back on the stumps. We've seen Alam, anytime he's faced Netravalkar, anytime he's faced anybody since he's come in, he's looked to go with the cross bat.
And the wind conditions have just changed since the last drinks break. It was blowing very strongly out to the east when Yasser Muhammad bowled the previous over from this end at the Massey Ranch end. That aided those 2 sixes. Now the wind has started to swirl around a bit, starting to blow back towards the west. And this time, middled too well to try and take on Aaron Jones for a second run. As he charges in from deep mid-wicket. So USA will be content with 6 singles at this stage after back-to-back overs that went for 29 combined. 31 combined, excuse me. As it's now 217 for 3 after 40. So USA in the last 10 overs will be able to put a 5th boundary rider out if they choose. 6 and over from here, obviously. If they just gave up a run a ball from here, it would still take Nepal to 277 for 3, which would be, you think, within reach maybe, but still, based on the history of USA, it's going to be a tall order. But based on how things have gone, I don't think Nepal is going to be settling for a run a ball from this stage, Aman.
No, they're not. They're going to go after it. And again, Nepal's really put themselves in a perfect position based just on the way that they're here with 7 wickets in hand, 217 runs on the board. And again, we've seen teams consistently put up 100 from the 40th over. The 317 is really what you're looking at if you're Nepal. That's your goal.
So Ali Khan has got 5 overs left. He's USA's best death bowler. He's probably going to bowl out from here. Back for the 41st. He chips this one to mid-off for a single.
Again, the U.S. will take singles from here. Again, the wicket is going to be the one. Another interesting matchup for me, though, with Ali Khan and Adil Alam, because we know Adil Alam is going to try to take you across through the leg side. Ali Khan, of course, known for his Yorkers. As you try a couple straight up and just get him to really have to play straight, kind of expose the defenses of Adil Alam.
There's that option. There's also the slower ball. We've seen him cause problems with that slower ball, just back the length. And if Adil Alam is just trying to time Ali Khan, I feel like if it's not the Yorker, then perhaps a slower ball.
And there is that mid-wicket fielder on the circle, like Cam Stevenson was when he took the 5th wicket catch just the other day. So that is an option that they can bring in.
And that's Rahul Jarawala, who was at mid. Deep third man, deep fine leg, deep mid-wicket, and a long on in place. Mid-off is up in the ring. So those are the 5 boundary riders at the moment for USA. It's Yasser Muhammad out at deep mid-wicket, Nisarg Patel at deep fine leg, Netravalkar at deep third man, Madani out at the cover sweeper boundary, and Stephen Taylor is the man at long on. Those are the 5 boundary riders. Jones in the ring at backward point. Gadjan on at extra cover, Rusty Tron at mid-off in the ring, and Jarawala is at square leg in the ring. That's the ringside fielding alignment for USA. And Adil Alam tries to go big. finds the gap between Yasser Muhammad and Stephen Taylor on the leg side. And don't the Nepal fans love it?
And don't they love it indeed. Again, you can just see the electricity running through their veins at the moment. And Alam helps it out. Missed the Yorker that time. It was a slower ball. He picked it well. It just sends it all the way through. Yasser Muhammad never stood a chance. Again, just waited on the ball to get to him. And boom. But again, for the USA, he is swinging across the line. It's going to leave some areas open, but you got to hit it right. And the Nepal fans loving it at the moment.
Misfires on the Yorker, this time on the line as it trails down the leg side.
Really well kept from Monik Patel there, making sure there wasn't 5 freebies. They're saved. Definite 4 runs.
You can see Monik Patel adjusting the towel around his neck again. It's so hot here. We've seen him use that on a couple of occasions throughout these ODIs. The towel around the back of the neck, just moist towel to try and keep him refreshed. The conditions are sweltering here at Pearland, Texas at Moosa Stadium. USA is starting to flag a bit in the field as a result. Here's the slower ball, but it's ruled a wide, outside off. Even when he gets that length right, the line is letting him down.
Yeah, again, try to go well outside the off stump there, and it was tight on the line, but I think he got the right call there. Again, just really struggling here, the USA. They're trying to search for this wicket. They're not having any luck. Again, they've really gone away from the lengths that they were bowling really well at early, and it's because of the aggressiveness from Alam. But I wouldn't mind firing one back of a length, daring him to pull Ali Khan with your square leg fielder out there.
Yeah, they're moving Sarabna Chavalkar a bit finer at deep third man. So just a slight adjustment in the field before this delivery. Nisarg Patel comes up in the ring. Deep square leg is out, deep mid wicket, long on.
Stephen Taylor for Alam for Paudel. And I keep the length going.
I just wonder if he's bowling that length. Rohit Paudel, we've seen him play this sweep and try to paddle it earlier. If Ali Khan is bowling that length with a fine leg up at the ring, I just wonder if Rohit Paudel will try and just scoop this over fine leg.
Well, he'd have to get into position very, very early if he wanted to do so.
Bouncer that Paudel can't catch up to. And that's a very risky shot, or excuse me, a very risky delivery for Ali Khan. If you bowl it that short with fine leg up in the ring, you don't have to get much bat on it to clear the fielder, and it's going to go for an automatic 4. He's got the deep square leg in place. That's where the short ball trap is, but you got to get that ball exactly right. Otherwise, it doesn't take much to clear that fine leg fielder up in the ring to go for the boundary.
And even if you get it exactly right, sometimes you got to be lucky. And again, I don't love that delivery. Just at this moment of time, we're trying to consolidate. I don't really see it as a wicket-taking option either. Can't afford to just give up easy runs.
And just tapping around. They're going to look for 2. Yasser Muhammad has a long way to run from the boundary. And no way is he going to deny the second there. Sharp running, sharp recognition from Paudel, who moves to 49. So another double-digit over, 10 runs from it. 8 off the bat, 227 for 3 after 41.
The U.S. just can't find a way to stop the bleeding. Double-digit over after double-digit over. And outside of Saurabh Netravalkar, haven't had a lot of success tightening the screws as of late. And who's going to be the one to break this partnership? You got to break it. They're getting a little too comfortable. Alam's making it easy. He's getting a boundary every over. So Badal's able just to keep it flowing with the ones. And again, if you're Saurabh Netravalkar, this is the matchup you want. Damn to play across the line. Keep it coming.
Netravalkar has been USA's most economical by some distance on the day. About to start his 9th. Big heave across the line. Big shot for LBW. Given not out by VJ Malella.
I think he made the right call. I felt high in my regard. So this is what I was talking about with this cross-bat shot. He's going to continue to try to force everything through the leg side. With this angle, you open up the stumps if you're Saurabh Netravalkar. This is brilliant. Again, take another look at it. Look down leg for sure with the angle.
And again, why is he trying that shot? The wind is, again, swirling around again. Moments ago, in the previous over, Netravalkar bowled, it was blowing in from the leg side. Now it's blowing back out to the leg side, blowing east. So from the Massey Ranch end that Netravalkar's bowling from, he's at the south end. He's trying to hit with the wind, Adil Alam. There's another huge heave. He's trying to just get it up in the air. We saw it. Do it a few overs ago. All he's got to do is just get it not too high in the air, and the wind will help carry it out. He's got 1-6 to that side of the ground already. 2 big heaves. Can't connect yet in this over. As we see a big towel with some ice on it. It looks like an ice bag, not a towel. It's an ice bag that's been brought out by one of the subfielders to Ali Khan on the boundary on the leg side.
And again, Saurabh's done really well here. He's going to try to heave him across the leg again.
Going for that scoop shot. Final leg was up in the ring. It's going to land safely. Didn't quite middle it, but he'll get at least 2 for the shot. Some adventurous stroke play here from Adil Alam, and the Nepal fans are enjoying it. There's Ali Khan. Moments ago, that big bag of ice was on top of his head. Is Saima Kamal on the right, and Cameron Stevenson on the left. The subfielders just doing whatever they can to try and cool Ali Khan off in this unbearably hot day here in Pearland.
And that shot there from Alam, he tried to create something different. Again, like you said, didn't quite connect on it. Got well outside the line of off stump to do so. Again, a lot of risk being involved in everything Alam's doing at the moment. Can USA take advantage now?
Another big heave across the line. Another big appeal turned down by VJ Malella. Well, Adil Alam, he's in T20 mode.
Look at it right here. The scoop shot there, well outside the line of off stump, so it's relatively safe with fine leg and third man inside the circle. But again, the previous delivery as well. Opened up all 3 stumps and is just evading it at the moment. Has just a bit of luck going in his direction.
Slower bouncer attempted, and Leslie Reefer Jr. says it was legal on height from the leg side standing position. So this is very clever from Netravalkar. This is why he's so cagey and so valuable. He's not going to be bowling anything above 80 miles an hour. But he's just got so many balls in his bag of tricks that he can go to keep batters off balance. Lane delivery, heaved towards Jones. Had it long on. It's going to be cut off by Gajanan Singh. Just 1. So a very valuable over for USA. Only 3 runs from it. What a spell Netravalkar is having for USA today in the circumstances. None for 28 in 9 overs. Nepal 230 for 3 after 42.
And again, Saurabh did really well there. Angled everything in the stumps. A 3-run over here in the midst of a series of events where every single over has really just been a double-digit run over. For the United States, he's the one that's been your pick of the bowlers. But can you find someone to take this wicket, break this partnership down?
The other thing it's doing, it's getting Rohit Paudel out of rhythm at the non-strikers end. He's sitting on 49 now for a number of minutes, having spent well over an hour at the crease. Khan, he's got a big task here to try and bowl out 5 overs at the death in these conditions. You already saw him with an ice bag on his head after the previous over. Goes length. And another cross bet heave from Adil Alam. Gets a single, and he'll finally put Rohit Paudel back on strike on 49 as the Nepal fans, again, getting louder, sensing the moment.
Vice captain's played really, really well today. He's understood the assignment as soon as he's come to the crease. He's done everything right. Now it's time for him to claim his reward. You can see they're sensing it, jumping up and down. The flags are waving out of their seats already.
Giving the row hit chance as well. Everybody's got their phones out to capture the moment. And it's not going to happen on that delivery.
They try to come well outside the off stump to pull the ball. Just unable to do so. And again, the pull shot there could be successful. There is a deep square leg and a fine leg inside the circle. If you're Ali Khan, I'm not sure the short ball is exactly the delivery you want. Again, just on the length, you have plenty of pace to rush him. No ball short, I'd rather have a mid-wicket inside the circle.
He's just trying to chip it, and a misfield by Khan, but can't get it past Rusty Tehran. You could see he was just trying to play that flick into that vacant leg side ring that you talked about. There's nobody there in front of square. The only leg side fielder in the ring is that short fine leg, Nisarg Patel. And you can feel like he's just trying to tickle that single to get to the 50. He's got that fine leg fielder up in the ring. You might see him play that ram shot later on if he gets past 50, but you can just sense he's looking for a single rather than a glory shot to get to the landmark. Here comes Khan again with Paudel on 49. And he steers it safely. Ganesh Travalkar, deep third man. They're going to come back for 2. And then he'll get even bigger cheers as Rohit Paudel, the Nepal vice captain, brings up his 5th ODI half-century, acknowledging the fans in the West Grandstand, all throughout the ground, the King's Stand, and towards the Academy gazebo. The 3rd half-century in this innings for Nepal.
And the vice captains played a lovely knock, 2 4s and a 6, and again came in and right away understood his role was to keep the scoreboard ticking. Took 1s, took 2s, and again you've seen him be very active, running between the wickets, making sure they're converting. Cheeky doubles. He's played brilliantly. Again, a couple of big shots. We saw the one to Yasir Muhammad, and he gets a 50. Well deserved.
Full on the legs, flicked out to Yasir Muhammad too firmly, though, for there to be a possibility of a second. He settles for 1.
And here's the matchup. Alam has really picked up the scoring rate for Nepal. He's really attempted some big shots. And they do have Yasir Muhammad more of a straight mid-wicket. So if Ali Khan wants to go fuller and you can slow it down, the fielder is this time in place for that shot. As you see all the Nepal fans, they don't care how hot it is, how bad the sun is beating down on them. A couple umbrellas out, but it doesn't matter. They're going to stand out there in the burning heat to watch the Nepali side.
Slower ball attempted, and just a gentle flat bat to tailor it long on for one. So Adel Alam will keep the strike. 5 runs in that over, 235 for 3 after 43. So USA is going to hold back 1 over from Saurabh Netravalkar. They're going to bring in Rusty Tehran, who has 3 overs left. Ali Khan is going to bowl out, it looks like, from the Pearland end, but they can split up some overs between Rusty Tehran and Netravalkar from the Massey Ranch end, as Rusty begins to charge in for the start of his 8th. And a slash towards Yasser Muhammad. Over his head on the cover sweeper rope, and it's going to go for 6. What a shot that is, through the wind and over the rope.
It was an unbelievable shot there. It was short, it was wide, it was there to be punished. But again, you're hitting into the wind. There was a fielder there, Yasser Muhammad. But Alam showing off the power, showing off the strength and the bat speed, whips it over the way and over the boundary for 6.
I just wonder, on the replay, because the wind was blowing in, was Yasser cheating in? If he stayed on the rope, could this have been a catch?
He definitely was cheating in, Peter. And I'm not sure it would have been a catch, maybe given a little bit more opportunity to get a hand on it, but I'm not sure either way.
Oh, that landed well over the rope. And this time he's going to field it on 2 bounces. And that replay just shows what an impressive shot it was. How much muscle Adel Alam has to get behind that and just flat bat that flat over the rope for 6. It landed a good 7 yards beyond the rope. What a shot.
And didn't even get the middle of the bat, Peter. It was more of a top half of it. And it still went all the way. Didn't even give Yasser a chance.
He's got zap on his bat. He definitely zapped that one. You can hear some helicopters flying overhead. We talked about it earlier in the week. We're near a hospital, Memorial Hermann Hospital, so you do hear some medical helicopters fly past the ground from time to time. That's the sound in the background. And a slower ball from Tehran, negotiated very comfortably by Poto to get Alam on strike. That's all he wants. The big shots are going to come from Adel Alam at this stage. Poto very content to turn over the strike and let the very adventurous 18-year-old take another few hacks across the line. 2 teenagers with an impressive partnership in progress for Nepal.
Well, Baldo's saying, well, I'm not going to hit through the wind. You do it. You clearly can. So he's just delegating the roll off to the youngster.
Full and straight. Big appeal, and the finger goes up. So Tehran fires it in as full as possible, and Alam was looking much more comfortable with the ball sitting up at about thigh height. And on this occasion, can't get bat on ball to this full delivery, and it brings to an end yet another half-century partnership for Nepal.
And we talked about it when Ali Khan had the ball. The Yorker is something that he is going to be susceptible to just because of the way he goes across the line. Take a look from Rusty Tehran. Learns from the mistake of going too short. This time goes full, goes straight. A helicopter shot attempted. No bat on it. Dead in front. An easy decision for the umpire. And the States able to break the partnership. Might be a touch late, but now you got to get something else going.
Dipendra Singh Irie comes out to the middle. We'll have a quick look at the bowling card for USA. Get that corrected. And here is the bowling card for USA, and you can see the partnerships: 56, and then a 62-run stand, a 60-run stand, and then a 65-run stand. It's been hard work for USA in the field. Rusty Tron, at a time when USA was flagging badly, in the previous sequence, gets the breakthrough.
A much needed breakthrough again. Say would take the big wicket of Dave Connell, break that partnership this time. Breaks a partnership between Adil Alam and Rohit Badal.
And you can see there with the overs remaining, Rusty's got 2 left after this, Netravalkar 1. So they can split 46, 48, and 50 from this end. And Ali Khan can bowl out his final 3 in the 45th, 47th, and 49th from the Pearland end, as Irie now on strike. That's Kuldeep Patel in the red and black jersey, former USA National Team player, former USA National Team selector. He's got a Houston Indians jersey on. That's his local club team. And Saki Muhammad is sitting there with Kuldeep. Saki, you can't see him in the picture right now at the moment. Kuldeep is in the way. As Irie just slices that one out to Yasser Muhammad. And nearly another overthrow. USA has been so sloppy with these relays. 9 runs in the over. 244 for 4 after 44.
And nearly costing them more runs, but good backup that time by Gajanan Singh, making amends for the mistake he made earlier. But the big part is, Irie is going to be on strike to start out this next over. And that's exactly what you want if you're the United States. You get the new bat on strike, you're able to break a partnership, and you let Ali Khan have a look at the fresh bat who just walked into the middle. That's exactly the outcome you could have hoped for the USA.
That perch that Kuldeep Patel and Saki Muhammad are watching from wasn't there last week. They get things done quickly here at Musa Stadium, Aman.
They do definitely get great stuff done.
There's Saki Muhammad sitting. You can see him sitting with the striped collar. It's Saki Muhammad, the founder and the owner of the ground, Musa Stadium, and Kuldeep Patel standing to his left. Saki's poured his heart and soul into getting this facility up to a standard to get it accredited as the 213th ODI cricket ground in the history of ODI cricket, as Khan charges in. Goes for Yorker. Bullseye. The Yorker machine cleans up Dipender Singh Irie, and he's having some fun with the Nepal fans out on the west side, giving the old Hulk Hogan. Let's hear it from Ali Khan. And you can't hear any noise from the Nepal fans now. He's made them silent, and he puts in a little Bhangra to go with it. The Punjabi roots from that part of Pakistan where he's originally from. Ali Khan, a big breakthrough for USA.
Ali Khan's been hearing the Nepali fans for about an hour. This time says, let me hear you now. And what do we talk about? The new batsman on strike to Ali Khan, and now he gets to unleash. It's not a man who was able to settle in. He's fresh to the crease, and Ali Khan gets first taste of it, first pick at him. And he's reinvigorated the crowd. USA chants now pouring out. And there it is, a sign. Ali Khan, he's our pride. And look at the replay. Just a perfect Yorker from the Yorker King. Straight through. We talked about the reverse swing back in. And Irie said, what am I supposed to do?
How great is that camera shot provided by the IMG Cricket Club's team And doesn't Ali Khan love it as well? Back to live action. As Arif Sheikh is the new batter in, and Ali Khan gets a bit greedy. Going for the Yorker again. Doesn't land it. Winds up as a low full toss. Flicked too easily by Arif Sheikh to get off the mark through final leg for a 4. We saw Asif Sheikh, his brother, open the batting, and now Arif Sheikh coming in to try and land some late blows for Nepal.
Yeah, Ali Khan puts his hand up, says, that's on me. Just missed the Yorker completely. It was full. It was down the leg side. Not many better greetings in international cricket than that for Arif. Sheikh, a full toss down the legs. Just had to put a little bit of bat on it. Again, he had to know what was coming. Just lets it run down for 4.
Foolish length, just punched easily. And a long on for 1. Arif is 3 years older than his brother, Asif. Arif, medium-paced all-rounder, whereas Asif is 3 years younger, keeps wicket. The two of them, you might see them field next to each other, with Arif standing at slip, next to Asif behind the stumps, and then you'll see them possibly form a tag team in another way. And Arif comes into the bowling attack. Powell back on strike on 53. And that final leg fielder comes back into the ring. Nisarg Patel, haven't seen him play that, or attempt to play that ramp scoop shot over fine leg. And a short ball, and that's the other problem with the final leg fielder coming into the ring. We saw Ali Khan get away with it earlier. And you get the line wrong at that length, you're asking to be punished. It doesn't take much to get it over that fielder, and it goes to the rope for 4.
I've said it all game long, Peter. I'm just not understanding the fascination with bowling short. Again, especially with the fielder just coming in. Why is it now? I know you're trying to double bluff, but you're giving life back to the Nepal fans here. And the Nepali batting lineup just made it really easy on Paul, though he got very low and just needs to get any bit of bat on it, and there's going to be a certain boundary. Again, look at it. Dug it in very short, and he climbed it very, very well and just lifted it over the top. Again, fine leg inside the circle.
This one steered to Jarwal at backward point. No run on that occasion. Jarwal has switched out with Aaron Jones. Jarwal had been on the fence at deep square leg for a long time. And Yasser Muhammad was out there as well. Now Yasser Muhammad is in the ring at extra cover. Jarwal is in the ring at backward point. Aaron Jones is swapped out to go out to deep square leg. And it's Cam Stevenson, who's on the field as a sub fielder, who's out at deep mid wicket. Stephen Taylor is out at long on. Those are the 3 boundary riders on the leg side. And now we're going to see a 4th as Nisarg Patel does finally go back to deep final leg. So 4 boundary riders on the leg side. Only Sushant Maidani is on the offside boundary as a cover sweeper. Inside the ring, it's Rusty Tron at mid-off, Yasser Muhammad at extra cover, Jarwal at backward point, and Netravalkar now in the ring at short third man. Goes full, vacant gap on the leg side. They're going to push hard for 2. Stevenson is charging hard, but he's not going to be able to deny the second. Good running and good recognition of the scoring options there by Powell as he completes an 11-run over. But a wicket falls at the opposite end. And it's 2:55 for 5 with 5 overs left.
And again, we've seen time and time again for Nepal, they've just understood where their options are to score. Bowder didn't try to do too much to just put any bit of bat on it, angling it towards mid-wicket on the leg side. There's nobody inside the circle on the leg side, so he knew if he just gets it there, it's a run. Cam Stevenson with a great throw. Had it hit, he was gone. I think we missed that one on the live talk, Peter, but taking a look at this, if Cam Stevenson had hit the wickets, he's barely in frame.
Well, it would have been the end of Harsh Sheikh. We're at a deep third man angle for that delivery, so we're on the exact opposite side of the ground from where Stevenson threw that ball. And from our angle, it didn't look so threatening, but you can clearly see on the replay, if that had connected, Arif Sheikh would have been out for 5 off 2 balls. Instead, he's going to start this 46th over on strike. And he's just going to settle for one, or is he? They're going to push back. They looked so casual on that first run. Didn't look like they had any intent to go for two. Instead, it's so casual because they knew the two was going to be so easy, apparently, Aman.
Well, I think both these guys understand that they can turn on the burners at any point in time. And I think they also have really good communication. We saw it yesterday. These two ran between the wickets really well together. And so they're just carrying that over into the day. Not doing too much, not trying to be extra cute about it. Just gets the job done. Both very quick between the wickets. Again, they're going to bleed the USA out here in the last 5.
Single just run off the open face to Netravalkar at deep third man for one. And we passed that magic number, 257. It's the highest total that USA has ever chased in their limited overs history, dating back to the 1979 ICC Trophy. USA's first limited overs contest. That record chase came in 2011 at ICC World Cricket League Division III in Hong Kong. On the opening day against the host Hong Kong, Steve Messiah scored a magnificent unbeaten 97. USA captain of the time. And USA's leading scorer in their limited overs history. USA has not chased anything greater than that in the second innings before or since. Full on the legs, chipped easily to Madani, straight to him. That'll just be one.
And the U.S. will take ones from here. Again, I think the goal for them, no boundaries. You can limit the twos because of just the fact that, and you know you're going to have to chase upwards of 270 at the minimum is what it's looking like. Again, 300 on the cards. If you can just, every run that you can save, you'll be happy to give up singles. As long as boundaries don't fall, you'll feel pretty happy for the USA.
Only one man on the leg side boundary behind square. Stevenson is at long on as Tehran fields this off his own point. So right now, there's a deep square leg. Sushant Madani. Stevenson is on as a subfielder at long on. And it looks like he's on the field for Gajanan Singh. There is cover sweeper in place. Deep fine leg, deep third man. Those are the 5 boundary routers. So mid-off is up in the ring. And there's no protection out at deep mid-wicket. There's a huge gap between deep square leg and Stevenson at long on. With the wind blowing out to that side of the ground. Tries to ramp this over. Big Nick. Big appeal. And he was going to walk anyway. Arif Sheikh. Rusty Tehran. How good has he been for USA in Texas, Aman?
Yeah, we saw it again time and time again. When they needed something, it's been Rusty Tehran to deliver. He's broken big partnerships, be it Dave Connell, be it Adil, and now be it Arif Sheikh. Doesn't matter. He's the guy. He's taking wickets. He's the guy breaking it when they need it.
Curious shot because there's a deep third man that was in place. Unless he got that ultra fine, it was going to be one. Just have a look at the replay. They had deep fine leg, deep square leg, long on, cover sweeper, and a deep third man in place. Cramped for room going for that shot. I'm not sure if the shot was on with the field sitting.
I think it definitely was not on, but I also think that he was just tough for options. He didn't really have any idea of what to do because it was angling so close to his head. He just kind of got his arms up, and the bat face just kind of opened. I think that was his just kind of body self-defense mechanism rather than him necessarily wanting to place that shot.
Well, the only way he was going to score is just ramping it straight over Monank Patel, the wicketkeeper, but cramped room, as you said, and so just a thick edge, healthy edge going through to Monank. Brings about the end of Arif Sheikh, but brings Karan KC, who can definitely clear the ropes, especially with the wind blowing out to the leg side. He was quite timid in his innings the other day against Oman, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him swing big from ball one here. Rusty, though, keeps him pinned down. Dot ball to finish the over. 2:59 for 6 after 46.
And how good and how big is this over? A 3-run over. You get a wicket as well here in the 46. That's exactly what you're looking for if you're the United States. You're just trying to keep them from climbing past 300. You don't want to let them get to the 300 teens. If you can settle in at 300, that's what you think Nepal can cruise to at this point with 4 overs to go. If you're able to hold them under 300 here, it'd be a tremendous fight back.
I'm Peter Della Penna, joined by Aman Patel. You're watching live coverage of the SkyExchange.net ICC Cricket World Cup League 2 ODI Tri-Series supported by Dream 11. Peter Della Penna, that's Aman Patel to my right. And we're here at Moosa Stadium in Pearland, Texas, just south of Houston, about 20 miles south of downtown Houston, where USA is hosting Nepal today in Match 9. ODI number 9 here at Moosa Stadium in Brazoria County, just over the county line, outside the Houston city limits. And we've got just a shade under 1,000 fans. Strong walk-up sales today. I'm on by far the best crowd that has been packed into here. The previous best was the very first match between USA and Scotland, and you could see the strong numbers. They put up some extra tents today to accommodate the fans here on what has been by far the hottest day, and a testament to those fans. Consider
And again, it's Saturday. Hot.
Stevenson fumbles, trying to deny the second. I don't think he was going to deny it anyway, but the slight bobble guarantees a second run, and Rohit Paudo keeping the strike.
And again, that's the big thing for Nepal. They're gonna go for 2.
And how about this? You got a cowboy hat with a Nepal jersey on. A perfect blend of the atmosphere in Texas. That's my kind of hat, Aman.
I know you're gonna go out there to see where he got it from and head over to that shop.
This one driven straight to mid-off. So he tried to clear the ring. The tease was on. Rusty Tron in the ring. And Poto tried to clear him. Ali Khan gets it very full to deny him the opportunity to get underneath that delivery. And Ali Khan, with a second wicket, brings an end to Rohit Paudo, the vice captain. So 3 times we've seen a player cross 50 and unable to kick on to 100. And Ali Khan, what a death spell he's producing here for USA. over from Ali Khan. 3 runs and a wicket. And USA, who about a half hour ago was staring at a chase in excess of 300. And in the last 4 overs, 4 wickets in the last 4 overs. Aman Patel, 262 for 7. And we'll just have a look at the worm to highlight those speed bumps on the extreme right-hand side. That has stunted momentum for Nepal. They were going straight up just around the 40th over mark. But those 4 bumps, that has flattened out that worm. That's a big plus for USA. Trying to restrict this to something far more manageable than it looked like about a half hour ago.
In the last 2 overs specifically, 6 runs, 2 wickets, taking out both set batsmen. So USA, they're striking back here at the right time. And here we go, Saurabh Netravalkar. He's not going to let up at all either for Rasi Theran. He's got his last over in place. Again, he's going to angle and aim at the stumps all day long.
So Tehran will have 1 over held back. They're going to bring Netravalkar in for the 48th, and we'll see Tehran most likely bowl the 50th from this Massey Ranch end. Monak Patel standing back, and they're going to take the single as Tehran elects to hold on to the ball rather than fire at the stumps for a possible run out.
And I like that decision. Again, singles are all right. You're going to live with the singles. These two, haven't seen a lot from them with the bat on this tour. We know what Karan KC can do. And always, someone can latch on to something. But you'll live with just singles. Don't try to force anything and have the overthrows like you did earlier on where you gave up before just off overthrows. Don't do that. A little more conservative approach. It's okay.
Nepal fans trying to bring some chance to bring this scoring back to life that's gone quiet. Big heave. Stevenson is in position, and Karan Casey out for a 3rd ball duck. Tried to go with the wind, clearing the leg side rope, and Cam Stevenson, how valuable has he been as a sub fielder today? I'm on his 2nd catch.
And great stuff there. Cam Stevenson, he's been good all day. Saurabh Netravalkar has been equally as good all day. Deserved the wicket. Finally got it here in his 10th over. And again, he's just angled it on the stumps all day long. Dared the batsman to go across the line and pick it up out of the air and take it over the rope. Karan KC falling into the trap. Again, take a look. He comes wide of the crease, angled in. Karan KC just sent it straight to the hands of Cam Stevenson, who's taken one brilliant catch. You can see Kami, he backed away from it to push it up. Just fell short of Rasi Theran.
This is actually, it's going to be Amichani who was on strike. So the captain, they crossed in the air. He was on strike. Here comes the throw. Nowhere close to being in the frame. Amichani had given up. So the captain survives a run-out chance on 2 to move to 3, and it'll be now Kami who's on strike. USA has had a couple run-out opportunities that they haven't been able to capitalize on.
Getting great bowling here from Saurabh Netravalkar, not giving the batsman any room to do anything. Just making him block it out and take singles. And again, the U.S. will kindly oblige to let them play the next 2.2 overs with just singles.
How remarkable has this sequence been? 5 overs now, 5 wickets, 1 in each over. Nepal went from looking like they could get to 300 to at a stage now where if that run out had been converted. They might be bowled out before 50 overs, Aman. This is extraordinary.
Great fight back from Team USA.
Slower ball, just tapped gently into the offside. And now you can see the strategy change. They're just looking for singles. Nepal is the team now that's happy with singles. USA won't be complaining, but they've had to shelve those big heaves across the line. When they had wickets in hand, it seems like an eternity ago now. In reality, it's only about 20 minutes. Nepal had 7 wickets in hand with 7 overs to go. Very rapidly, USA has fought back in the field. And an attempt to steer. Appeal for caught behind. And it's going to be Kami who gives himself out here. He walks off. Vijay Malella doesn't have to raise the finger. The USA players were a bit confused about that, but Sampal Kami walks off. Andrew Leonard's going to love that back in his hotel room. Spirit of cricket on display there. Sampal Kami knew he edged it, and forget 5 wickets in 5 overs. He got 6 wickets in 5 overs now. As what an over, Sarbnet Chavalkar caps his spell. Started this final sequence with none for 28. Ends with 2 for 32, 2 wickets in his final over. USA's all-time leading wicket taker in limited overs cricket, showing once again why he's been a rock for the national team over the last 4 years.
And again, he's been the pick of the bowlers all day long. He's kept the right lengths, the right line. He's understood every time he's come out, and that's why we've seen the Nepali best just kind of try to play him out. Finally gets the 2 wickets he greatly deserved in his final over. And again, the recall here from the United States. They have an opportunity to finish Nepal off here before 50 overs. And again, you said it, Peter. This is a side that looked like they were going to get to 300. They were 200 with 10 overs to go. They had an opportunity to really accelerate. And now, with 1 wicket in hand, just 266 on the board. And we're 1 Ali Khan Yorker away from seeing Nepal bowled all out.
They had 4 consecutive half-century partnerships to open up this match, and then they've gone from 243 for 3 to 266 for 9. An attempted Yorker scuffed out there by Lamachane. Sushan Bari, the last man in, is going to come on strike, but how about that? 6 wickets falling for 23 runs. What a collapse this has been by Nepal, but it's been sparked by some brilliant death bowling by a combination of the pace bowling trio of Ali Khan, Rasi Turan, and Sarbnet Chavalkar.
And credit the U.S. here. In times previous, we've seen at times the U.S. kind of just let the game get away from them and just keep coming through, and they just don't really find a way to bounce back. Today, they've bounced back in every phase. Whenever they needed to, they were able to get a wicket. They were able to break partnerships after the initial 50. And this game has ebbed and flowed, and give the USA credit for putting enough fight to get back into it and give themselves a puncher's chance chasing in the second innings.
Yeah, this is flicked gently out to Modani. So Sushan Bari is off the mark. And the Nepal fans who were roaring just a half hour ago when Rohit Paulo got to his half century, and at the other end, Adil Alam was bringing the fireworks with the 4s and 6s, and his knock 3 4s and 2 6s. All that noise, nowhere to be found now.
Nowhere to be found in the U.S. faithful. They're much happier. Again, you can see it. Not many times you'll see this. Feels like pin drop silence compared to what it was just moments ago.
4 boundary riders on the leg side. Only ever sweeper on the offside protecting the boundary. As he goes straight down the ground, Stevenson at long on, puts in a tremendous effort, but it's only going to amount to a collection of rug burns on the grass out here at Musa Stadium. Boundary straight down the ground. Valuable runs late by Lamachane.
Valuable, and more valuable. Finally gets a boundary off there. Excites that Nepal crowd that was stunned in silence. Great effort from Cam Stevenson. Again, take a look at this. Went for the Yorker, missed it. Good work from Lamachane, putting it straight back down the ground. Mid-off inside the circle. Cam Stevenson puts a great effort in, but not enough to keep the ball from going over the rope.
It's just what happens if you misfire the length. You're exposed to that kind of shot. Goes for Yorker again. This time scuffs it straight to Rusty Turan on the ring.
Again, I think Ali Khan is coming with the intention. I said it before we started. We're one Ali Khan Yorker away. And that's what he's said to the Nepalese batsman. He's going to go Yorker, 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 Yorker. Can you dig out 6 Yorkers? If not, I'll have your wicket. If you do, well played. You deserve to keep batting.
Slight delay here as they look at the field setting, make sure they've got it right. Just before Khan runs in again. Goes for Yorker. Lamachane chips this out towards Taylor, deep mid-wicket. And the former USA captain charges in to keep that to 1.
Peter, you think it's going to be a Yorker next up?
Here comes Khan charging in to end his final delivery. And a slower ball, Yorker strays down the leg side. So we'll have to re-bowl it to Sushan Bari. Change of angle coming around the stumps. Results in a stray delivery and a valuable extra added to the Nepal total. And Leslie Reefer Jr. is having a look. Make sure Ali Khan does not run through the protected area, which at this stage is not going to help USA one bit. Ali, remember your pals had to bat on that wicket in another hour. There's only 7 deliveries left in the innings. Ali Khan charges in to try and cap off his spell with a 3rd wicket and bring it into this Nepal innings 6 balls early.
Changes the angle. Here comes over. So again, maybe a blessing in disguise that wide if Ali Khan's able to pick up the last wicket.
Full and straight, big appeal. And Ali Khan does not get Leslie Reefer Jr. to raise the finger. May have just pitched outside leg stump. We'll have a look at the replay. But it's a frustrating dot ball for Ali Khan to end his spell. Coming over the stumps. Here's the replay.
Again, it looked very, very close in live view. Yeah, pitching outside leg for sure. Impact was probably outside leg as well. Good no call from Leslie Reefer.
So it brings it in to Ali Khan's spell. 2 for 62 and 10. Superb death bowling to help rally USA back into this game. 274 for 9 with 6 balls to go. And it's going to be Rusty Turan who will bowl the final over from the Massey Ranch end.
Again, he's picked up wickets when you need it. He's bowled really well. And he's varied it up. Sometimes he's gone back of a length and chosen to bowl more along there. And other times he's gone fuller, he's gone straighter. So we'll see where he elects to go. But again, the United States would not be concerned if they were to take 6 singles and get to 280. I think they'd be pretty content letting him have 6 singles.
So at the moment, there is a deep fine leg, deep square leg, long on, a cover sweeper, and a deep third man. Those are the 5 boundary riders for Rusty Turan. His mid-off is up in the ring. Stephen Taylor is in at mid-wicket. There's an extra cover and a backward point. Those are the 4 ring fielders. As Turan charges in, the bowl to Lamachane. Short and athletic work from Turan.
Yeah, well fielded, good one-handed stop. He went short, he went right at Lamachane. Able to get a little bit of bat on it. Thought maybe he could sneak a single through. But not ball to start the over. So good start for the U.S. Again, this is a Nepali innings that we thought at one point could eclipse the 323 mark set by the United States just a couple of days prior. They've been stifled. Looks like they're going to be held to under 280.
Bullseye! Rusty Tehran, what a spell. 4 for 56. And he brings an early close to this Nepal innings, all out for 274. What a collapse by Nepal from 243 for 3. They lose their last 7 wickets for 31 runs and don't even bat out the full 50 overs. And it's been a collective effort from the pace bowling trio of USA. Ali Khan with 2 wickets, Saurabh Netravalkar with 2 wickets, but Rusty Tehran, top of the heap.
Lovely delivery there. Again, he went short. It's really what changed the game for Nepal. Again, they were looking at a total of maybe 323, settled for 274, and like we said, it's the pace bowling trio. Saurabh Netravalkar, for me, the pick of the bowlers, 10 overs, 32 runs, and 2 wickets. Rusty Tehran gets 4 wickets of his own in his 9.2 overs with 56 runs given up. And then, of course, Ali Khan, the electrifying Ali Khan, 10 overs, 62 runs, 2 wickets to keep Nepal to just 274.
That's the state of play. Nepal winning the toss, choosing to bat first, and waste a very good start by the top order to end with what feels like a below par total. USA has never chased more than a target of 257, but this could be a day where history is made by the host side. We'll see what happens at the start of the USA reply in about a half hour's time. I'm Peter Della Penna, joined by Aman Patel. You're watching live coverage of this SkyExchange.net ICC Cricket World Cup League 2 ODI Tri-Series, supported by Dream 11 on Willow TV in North America, Fan Code in Nepal and the Asian subcontinent, and ICC TV around the rest of the world. We're going to take a break before coming back for the start of the USA reply in about a half hour time. of 275. Welcome back to the coverage of the chase. USA set a target of 275. Karen KC with the new ball. Steven Taylor on strike. Sushan Madani off strike. And we're underway as USA gets off in pursuit of what would be a record USA national team chase.
Well, they're going to need all the help they can get from their opening pair. We saw for Nepal, they got a good start with the openers. They're very, very positive, look to continue to rotate. So for Steven Taylor and Sushant Madani, I think they know it as good as anybody. The power play really dictates where your innings goes. You got to get a good start here. Take advantage of the Pacers. But Karan KC creates a lot of pressure on the batters. Again, you can see right there the angle back into Steven Taylor.
A reminder, USA has never chased a target bigger than 257. So if they can chase down Nepal's 274 today, it would create history for USA. Big appeal. Coming around the wicket. It's always going to be difficult unless you get it very, very full and very, very straight.
But you can see Karan KC picking up where he left off. Remember, had a fifer against Oman. And it's because of bowling like this. He angled it back on the stumps, hit the length, understood exactly where he needed to bowl. Very similar to the Sorbnetter Volker length. Again, he's just targeting the stumps, targeting the pad and the body of Steven Taylor. It's not going to be easy to score of a Karan KC.
And we've seen a number of 300-plus totals here in Ireland at Musa Stadium, but not in a chase. You're joined today on this broadcast brought to you by SkyExchange.net, ICC Cricket World Cup League 2, ODI Tri-Series, supported by Dream 11. On Willow TV in North America, Fan Code in Nepal and the rest of the Asian subcontinent, and ICC TV around the world. And a hopeful appeal on that occasion. I'm Peter Delpennant, joined by Aman Patel here at Musa, as we'll try and get those graphics updated for the start of this chase. USA here in the first over yet to score. Taylor on strike, Sushant Madani off strike. Taylor. Can't get bat on ball. And so it'll be a maiden for Karan KC to start this chase. USA, no run on the board after one.
And again, he makes his life so difficult. Angles into the stumps. We saw the swing away, the swing back in. And then a movement to move it both ways. Makes it very, very difficult for Steven Taylor. And again, power play has oftentimes indicated how the innings goes. So if you're the USA, you don't want to get off to the wrong foot here on the power play and end up just with 40, just with 30. You want to go and push 50. Can you get to 60? That's put USA, Scotland, UAE on success to score big totals.
Sampokami has the new ball from the parent end. Arif Sheikh in it, slip, standing next to his brother Asif Sheikh, who's got the gloves on. And here comes Sampokami.
Now, if there is going to be a bowler, I think USA could take advantage of, at least with this opening spell. Sumpul Kami could be that guy. Didn't bowl bad against Oman the other day, but sometimes just wavers, sometimes just swinging it too far, straying on either side of the wicket, giving some room for the batsman. So if you're Sushant Madani facing him, again, look to be positive. Look to take advantage of the looseners.
Just some signs there that we saw just on maybe a handful of occasions of inconsistent bounces. That one just skids a touch low from Kami to Sushant Madani, who, if you talk to some people, they might say Madani is USA's form batter on this tour. A century and 2 half-centuries in the 5 matches USA has played. So
Again, for Stephen Taylor, I think he might find a liking. He might find a liking to Sumpul Kami. Again, he jumps up a little bit off of the length, but he has times to drift on either side, and I think Stephen Taylor is going to be aggressive, play that natural game, and just maybe find a way to put some more boundaries on the board.
and a thick edge. Taylor finds the gap, though. And it'll be a boundary for USA.
Yeah, not the way you're going to want it if you're Stephen Taylor, but the way you'll take it. And I told you, there's width on offer with Sumpul Kami, especially to the left-handers. Didn't bowl necessarily terrific with the left-handers. I thought struggled at times. But again, just gives a touch of width. Stephen Taylor's going to throw his bat at it. Just goes through that vacant third-man region. Again, edgy start, but finally a boundary on the board.
Firmer drive, but picks out Sushant Bari in the offside ring. 5 runs in the over. 5 for none after 2. Now, talked about USA never chasing a target of more than 257. That was against Hong Kong in 2011 at Kowloon Cricket Club, where they have the Hong Kong Sixes. USA has had a number of 300-plus scores in their limited overs history, but they've all come in the first innings. So USA has a total of 13 innings in their limited overs history where they've scored in excess of 300. But every single occasion, it has come in the first innings. They've never scored anything close to 300 in a chase. They only need 275 here, but again, it's that magic number of 257 that they're trying to erase from the top of the record books in terms of the highest successful chases for USA. It's going to be a big task, in spite of the fact that scoring did look comfortable throughout the Nepal innings, as Karan KC starts off his second over, cramping Madani for room.
Yeah, and again, like you said, Peter, that's going to be the thought, I think, on every American's mind is we haven't chased a score this high. But at some point, history got to change. We saw a couple of days ago for the USA be a history-changing day as we're seeing maybe an issue with the ball already. It's something we've constantly seen, the players kind of holding the balls up to the umpire, and it happened quite early. But again, U.S. hasn't chased a total this high, but Moose has been a record-breaking stadium for the U.S. team. See if they can break some more records.
Sharp single there. The cheer you hear is not for the single, it's for the fielding done by Dipendra Singh Irie to keep that to just one. We said it a number of times in this broadcast, but despite the sounds you might hear coming through the microphone with the on-field effects mics, this match is actually taking place in Texas. Overwhelming support for Nepal wherever they go in the world, and that is the case once again here in Pearland at Moosa Stadium. By far the biggest crowd that has been on hand through these back-to-back ODI Tri-Series, eclipsing the initial mark set by the first match between USA and Scotland. On that occasion, it was an overwhelming USA crowd supporting the home team. And mix up here. They're going to take the single, though, in the end and get there comfortably. But here we are into the third weekend of on, and the Nepal fans have descended down deep in the heart of Texas today.
They're all over the ground at the moment. Talking to PJ Goodall, as he said, it feels like it's 500 to 1 in terms of Nepal versus American cheers. And again, every time there's a great fielding change, there's a great fielding play, great shot, great delivery. You can hear it from the Nepal fans. And again, more questions about the ball here from Sandeep Lamachane.
In one of the earlier matches, it was either one of the Scotland games or the UAE games, I was actually on the boundary taking photos, and the ball came my way, and I picked it up, and I was actually stunned at how much it had deteriorated quite early in the course of play. There's been a number of issues with these balls throughout the series, and I'm not sure if it's the quality of the ball or if it's just an abrasive square and outfield, but I'm not entirely surprised that we've had a number of replacements brought out over the course of this series, because I was actually quite stunned at how much the ball was coming apart. And a big gap in the leg side. It's a 6-3 field. And Ev Connell has an awful long way to run to try and track this down. They'll get a comfortable 2.
Yeah, and finally the scoring starting to come through for the United States. Again, they're finding a way to just tickle it around and, again, do very similar to what Nepal did throughout the course of their innings, was just put it in the gap when the boundaries aren't flowing. And I think that's got to be the lesson here for Stephen Taylor and Sushant Madani. How can we just place the gap? How can we just get one and keep the scoreboard ticking and not let the bowling side get comfortable?
Overpitched. And another great effort by Dipendra Singh Irie to keep that to just 2, as Taylor has to hustle a little bit more to get back to the non-strikers and to complete the second run. But already, Dipendra Singh Irie making his presence felt in the field.
A luscious on drive here from Sushant Madani. Didn't quite time it, but again, Dipendra Singh Irie made a great diving stop there. Doesn't get a hand to it there. He might be looking at another run there, maybe possibly another 2 runs. Great effort there.
This one punched uppishly, but short of the fielder. 6 runs in the over, 11 for none after 3. See Stephen Taylor making his guard. What you would call two legs. Two legs. It's right in between middle and leg stump.
And again, I think he understands that the ball's going to angle a little bit, so you've seen his trigger movements kind of take him past the middle stump at times. But again, I think he's going to find a liking to Sumpulkami because he does have that tendency to go a little bit full and give a little bit of that room to Stephen Taylor.
Overpitched, but he picks out the man on the ring, Sushan Bari. This Nepal team coached by Pubadu Desanayake spent an awful lot of time leading the USA side from 2016 until 2019. 3 years in charge of USA, just short of 3 years. He's the coach that led USA to ODI status. And so he'll have very, very precise plans in terms of strategizing how to face somebody like Stephen Taylor in particular. As we got a delay here, it looks like Stephen Taylor might need a replacement bat.
Well, he hits the ball so hard, and sometimes he's just, again, these batsmen, they always like to have a couple of them and just switch them around at times. We saw in the first innings, Adil Alam, he changed the batter just after one ball.
That was something new, that's for sure.
So very particular
Just
about everything that goes on, especially with the bat in their hand.
So we got this break and play. Reminder of what happened in the first innings. As there were 3 half centuries by Nepal in the top 4, but then a dramatic collapse sparked by the medium pacers. Nepal going from a total of 243 for 3 to 274 all out. So losing their last 7 wickets for just 31 runs. 4 wickets from Rusty Tehran. And then 2 apiece for Sarv Netravalkar and Ali Khan. Back of the length, way too high, despite the cheers you hear, insisting on an LBW shout and appeal. As Lee Reefer Jr. not remotely interested.
Yeah, again, we've seen Kami time and time again learn from the mistakes. This time pulls the length back and angles it back into the paths of Stephen Taylor. And again, both these opening bowlers understanding not to give any room to Stephen.
Short again, Taylor just a little bit uncomfortable with that. And he's able to fight it off, though, off the gloves to get credit for a run.
Just a little bit jumpy off the wicket, Sumpulkami. You can see Stephen Taylor not expecting it to really rise that high. Just to glove it down. Again, a great start here from Nepal. They're not letting the U.S. off the hook, not letting them get any runs going. Again, 4 balls into the over, just 1 run. Peter, I'm going to keep saying it until we get past this power play. Power play is determined how the innings goes. U.S. got to find a way to get going here early on.
Just a firm front foot block into the covers on that occasion by Madani. Now, during the innings break, Aman, we were both outside, and I felt like my arms were about to melt if I spent more than 10 minutes out there. Forecast called for temperatures around 100, 101 degrees. Officially, 97 at the moment, but with the humidity, 44%, the real feel is 107 degrees Fahrenheit, which is over 40 degrees Celsius. As Madani goes over the top, and he'll find the boundary. First one for Madani, ends a 5-run over, 16 for none, after 4.
And you can see Sumpulkami shaking his head. Again, might have slipped out. It's very sweaty. But we've talked about it. He has times to just get a little bit wide. He's allowed Sushat Madani to free up his arms, and that's just too easy here in the power play. So the U.S. will take the 4, but still another good over to Nepal.
I got a lot of sympathy for our ball tracking cameraman up at the top of the Massey Ranch and sight screen, Mohsen Ahmed. I hope Mohsen is getting plenty of water and sports drinks brought up to him, because I was having trouble spending 15, 20 minutes up there. Mohsen's got to be out there for 8, 9 hours. And the players, they're dealing with the conditions as well today. It is by far the most uncomfortable day. But that was an awfully comfortable cut shot by Madani. Going over the top. Behind point. As current KC gets ready to charge in for his third over. And intentionally played. Down to third man. They're going to come back for 2. And make it quite easily in the end as Kami lobs the ball back into play. Yeah, it's been in the low 90s throughout much of the first 8 ODIs, with some mild humidity at times. But today, nearing 100, 97 degrees officially, and gentle breeze. The real feel with the humidity coming off the Gulf of Mexico, 107 degrees Fahrenheit. It's around 40, 41 degrees Celsius. Taylor punches this firmly, but picks out. And at extra cover, Rohit Paudel, the vice captain. Does it get this hot in Morrisville, Aman?
Well, I would like to say yes, but no, it doesn't. It feels different down here because we've had 99-degree days. We've had humidity days where it's been super, super high. But for some reason, it doesn't feel like this. It's different down here in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, and it feels like the sun is bigger in Texas, just the way the heat is beating down.
This time another firm punch. Diving stop by Dipendra Singh Irie, who's arguably saved 9 runs already, as he turns a would-be 4 into a single there for Stephen Taylor.
Yeah, and again, we've just seen, even against someone, Nepal have a really good time in the field, really put their body on the line, and commit to everything that's going on. And that's what you want to see out of your side. And they've really, it's how you put pressure on the USA. And again, they haven't chased a score this high, the USA. They've really got to get it started, and fielding efforts like that just keep them on the back foot.
And an easy single now again. It's going to go into mid-wicket as Lamachani this time at mid-on. Cuts it off. And in case you're just joining us, the umpires have arranged for 3 drinks breaks in between innings. Typically, the standard is 2 drinks breaks, each taking place an hour and 10 minutes after the start of an innings, and then an hour and 10 minutes after the first drinks break. They've staggered 3 drinks breaks because of the extreme heat and humidity here at 55-minute intervals. And you've seen water run out regularly in between then as well. Slower ball attempted. Taylor middles it, but picks out. Backward point again. It's RF Sheikh, who's left slip. They go into the offside ring. 2 boundary riders at the moment. Deep third man and deep fine leg. Mid-off and mid-on are up in the ring. There's a very square mid-wicket in the ring as well. 6-3 field. Taylor is just trying to place this but can't find the gap at the moment. Disciplined bowling here from Nepal early in the power play. 20 for none after 5 overs. And New Jersey, where I grew up, it does get this hot, but not until about August. Never in June do you experience this kind of heat and humidity.
No, not in June, Peter. Not in June. August, definitely we could get up there, but in June, Again, everything's bigger in Texas, and a field like the Sun is as well as you see on your screen. The 2 series. It's Super Saturday. Saturday, June 11th. The crowd just feather under 1,000 people at the ground at the moment.
Now, Aman, when I was at NASA, one of the things they have in their exhibits is all this space age technology and what makes astronauts comfortable going up in space, because whether it's going up in space with the rocket boosters coming off the launch pad or upon re-entry, the heat that's generated upon going back into Earth from outer space, you get some very, very extreme temperatures. This one is punched wide of mid-off. Irie, again, is going to save at least 2 runs. And Indecisive coming back for the 3rd. So they'll settle for 2. Maybe some of the cricket officials here need to make a trip down the road, have a chat with the NASA officials so they can consult with how to keep these players cool in these conditions. You get a lot of space-age technology to keep everybody cool and dry. That's what's needed here on a day like this. As you see Irie again save another 2 runs.
Looked like he had rocket boosters on his feet there to get to that one. Chased it down, and again, you brought it up. Saves another 2 runs. Been so exceptional in the field. Again, you need that kind of effort from every single one of your players.
Flat bats this one on the up and just muscles it back down the pitch. An imperious boundary for Sushant Madani.
Got it done again, silencing some of the Nepal fans for just a little bit. Back of a length, just pulled it straight back down. Didn't try to go aerial on it. Kami unable to get a finger to it, and it just races away for 4. Again, take a look at the replay. Goes back of a length. Nordani very intentionally plays it straight back. That's 4 more.
That's a good old tennis racket swat in my book. It's a good old 2-handed backhand right up the middle of the court. The lowest part of the net. It's your safest shot. Instead of going up the lines where the net's a little bit higher, you just go straight down center court. That's what Sushant Madani did there.
And again, I think the Nepali bowlers are starting out like they did yesterday, very, very tight.
This is a great look from the stump cam. Tremendous athleticism on display from Sampal Kami. Now, I know he's got a picture of himself batting for his social media photos. I think Kaushal Adhikari, the official photographer here, if he got a shot of that one, Sampal might be changing his social media profile pics to show his cat-like reflexes. I know Nepal named the rhinos, but that wasn't a rhino hoof. That was a feline paw clutching onto that one.
Well, we've seen the Odo Beckham Jr. catch be the profile picture of any. That's one to frame up too. Again, both feet off the ground, reaching back behind his head. It's a lovely catch. Not many better you'll see, and it brings out the USA captain.
Monank Patel comes to the wicket. After an early breakthrough, Madani, who, as I said, was arguably the form batter for USA, 250s in a century, including that epic 209-run partnership with Monank Patel in the last game against Oman. New Yorker first up. Monank sees it away. First run for him. He's underway. Wearing number 1. There's another fan in the stands wearing a USA jersey with number 1 on the back. That's his sister, Ashvi, who made the drive with her husband, Harsh, from Dallas, Texas. It's about a 3-hour drive, maybe 3.5 hours to get to the south side of past the Houston city limits, where we are here in Pearland. Seen great family support throughout this several weeks long series of ODIs. Sylvan Taylor, Steven's father, is also sitting in the same section in the King's Stand today. We've seen Cameron Stevenson's mom and his aunt come out here. Rahul Jawala's dad. We've got Yasser Muhammad's dad out there as well today. And Taylor goes over the top. It's going to clear him on easily. Lamachani giving chase, and he's not going to catch up to that one. Second boundary for Stephen Taylor to cap a 9-run over. USA 31 for 1 after 6.
Well, I said it earlier, Silpagami feels like of the opening 2 that you're going to have to take advantage of. This time goes 2 full, 2 straight, and Stephen Taylor just helps it over the top of Sandeep Lamachani at long on. Again, beautiful work. Sees it over for 4 runs.
And again, a reminder to everybody, I did not do very well on my math SATs. You can see on screen there, it's an 11-run over, not a 9-run over. Simple math.
That's why we're here, Peter.
That's why we're here. We're not working for NASA.
We're not rocket scientists.
We're not rocket scientists. We mess up the mathematical calculations. That's not good. Leave the math to the smart guys just down the road on Route 1, NASA Parkway, east of here. We're here for the cricket. We can count to 6. We can count 6 balls in and over. We can do that much. As Monank will be on strike to start this over. The 4th from Karan KC. And Monank middles that one straight to cover. But he's looking in good touch yet again, coming off a career best score in a USA uniform, 130 off 101 balls, player of the match performance in that win against Oman on Wednesday. Shared that 209-run partnership with Sushant Madani. It's a record for USA in ODI cricket, but in their limited overs history spanning back to 1979, that includes non-ODI matches. It's the second highest of all time. It's an all-time second wicket record for USA. It's just 4 runs short of the partnership record for any wicket. And he steps forward, but middles this again to extra cover. Rohit Bowdle on the ring. They eclipsed for the second wicket record a mark set by Xavier Marshall and Stephen Taylor against Hong Kong in Namibia in 2019 at WCL Division II. That was the tournament. And that was the match where USA secured ODI status, with that victory guaranteeing a top 4 finish. And then they played their first ODI in 15 years, just a few days later against Papua New Guinea. So you get some very interesting quirks. Same tournament, same ground, same venue. And the difference in 3 or 4 days determines what is an ODI and what is not an ODI. Aman?
Funny thing how regulations work, but hey. What we know is that this whole series is an ODI. All the matches count for ODI status, and what we know is that Karan KC, he's been on the mark since ball 1 just a couple of days ago, since his very first delivery in his very first spell. Again, 5 wickets against Oman, and he's backing up the performance pretty well here. Again, he's just been on the length, adding around off stuff, making life difficult for Monank Patel so far.
And 2 straight in the legs. This is going to go to the boundary. Monarch has been in supreme touch all tour long here in Texas. He's gotten a start every single time. And he's looking in sublime form here yet again. Haman.
Yeah, like you said, 2 straight and just allowed Moni Patel to let it go off of his legs. Again, his angled.
And again, that's just a sign of how good touches that Monarch Patel has. He's just playing shots at will. It seems like he can't pick the gap, but just fantastic touch. Doesn't really showcase a big flourish with the majority of his shots. It's all timing and technique, and the ball just flies off the bat.
And that's why when he's in such good form, it's just so pretty to watch.
Firm punch, but straight back to Karan KC. 4 runs in the over. 35 for 1 after 7.
So we'll talk about the USA. It feels like they're getting off to a quiet start here in the power play. But it's actually been a pretty decent showing. So far, you got 3 overs to go, I believe. And Peter Del Pena will correct me if I'm wrong. Nepal were 44 after their first 10 overs. I'm just waiting for Peter to tell me that I'm wrong. I just know he's got his mad. Oh, he's telling me I'm right, guys. I did it.
Pen and paper. I'm on it. Pencil and paper, pen and paper. Since the days of the Egyptians, never fails. If the electronics go down, the Wi-Fi goes down. Yellow pad with the pen and paper, pencil and paper. Thousands of years. It has never let down civilization.
Absolutely true. And again, like I was saying, U.S. power play quietly has gotten off to a decent start.
Taylor circumspect against Kami with this around the wicket angle.
They're right on par with where Nepal was, just ahead of it, just a touch at the moment. And if Stephen Taylor bats for the next 5 overs, you can expect some big shots to take place. Monarch Patel, if he can stay in for a while. But again, Sampal Kami to me is the guy they're going to go after early on at least. Just because he gives the most amount.
Oh, they're not going to be able to attack that ball. Taylor just seeing it off. Taylor beaten. Again, one that maybe looks like it may have kept a touch low.
And Kami's been probing outside that off stump of Stephen Taylor all day long, making life just a touch difficult. And I think he's just awaiting that one that angles back in so he can help through the leg side.
Slight change in the field as Karan KC comes in at fine leg in the ring, and long on goes back to the rope. Taylor punches this firmly straight to mid-off, and he takes on a sharp single. He was always running on contact there and made it in the end despite some yelps from the West Grandstand, where we got close to 1,000 fans in here today at Musa Stadium. See, Aman the yellow legal pad, pen and paper. Even if the laptop right here, just like off screen, even if that fails me, pen and paper, since the dawn of time, I keep line by line score. So you can see there, the full toss just shows maybe a little bit of a conservative mindset for USA. So I'll just angle this a little bit. You can see all the notations I'm making, keeping score ball by ball on the line score. If you tilt it too much this way, you're going to get too much this sun. Pen and paper. If my laptop runs out of battery, pen and paper will never let me down. I've got the binoculars. I've got come prepared with the binoculars, pen and paper. I'm all set to go in case the Texas heat fries our commentary booth. I'm on, and everything short circuits because it's touching 100 degrees here. This is my backup, my fail-safe. And big appeal as this one beats Mononk and draws some roars from the fans, but given not out. Single in the over. 36 for 1 after 8.
We had the gentleman on the left thinking it was definitely out. He was asking, did it not hit? It hit, didn't it? It hit. Again, Subukami making life a little bit difficult. I think the full toss looked to me like he rolled the fingers through and it dipped quite a little bit at the end. And I think he's kind of, I think Mona Patel is explaining that one to to Stephen Taylor at the moment. But yeah, that gentleman in the glasses, he thought it was out. And the Nepal fans, they're excited. They're ready for a second wicket to fall.
I'm loving this. The cowboy hat. It's got Houston on the top of the hat. Seen a number of fans with cowboy hats today. You get a good blend of Texas and Nepal jerseys. Somewhere in there, this is like Where's Waldo playing Where's the USA fan. We need to get out the magnifying glass. It's to see the live action Where's Waldo book.
Let's get the binoculars out, Peter.
Get the binoculars. Yeah, get the binoculars. Get the magnifying glass. Where's Waldo? Where's the USA fan in there? He's in there somewhere. He or she. And over pitch, Taylor with a firm punch, and that's going to go all the way to the rope.
Luscious on drive there from Stephen Taylor. Again, angle too far inside. It was well too straight. Stephen Taylor said it's too full as well. And has helped it along its way. Right back down the ground. Nothing that the fielder could do on that occasion. 4 more for the USA. Again, they're finding a way, even with the string of dot balls, to get that one boundary. Just look at this. Too full, too straight, too easy. Lovely drive there from Stephen Taylor.
This is quite impressive to see, regardless, from Karan KC. He pulled a 5-over new ball spell 2 days ago against Oman, and again in even hotter and more extreme conditions. He's staying on for a 5th over in the power play with a new ball. Just shows the stamina that he's got.
He wasn't missing a beat in any of the overs, Peter. Even the 5th over, it was just like he was bowling the first one, running in hard, hitting the right lengths, hitting the right lines. Been very impressive to watch him bowl these past couple of days. It makes it difficult, but for the USA, they started the over quite well. With that 4, takes a lot of the pressure off these next couple deliveries.
And 2 straight on the legs. Taylor picks off a tight single into mid-wicket. Athletic effort. Unable to create a run-out chance, though, as Mononk makes the ground at the striker's end. That was Adil Alam doing the field in the air, who had a fiery innings, 36 of 24 balls before he was trapped LBW by Rusty Tron, one of Rusty's 4 wickets, 4 for 56. Mononk with a back foot punch picks out Dipender Singh Irie on the ring. So the Where's Waldo search has been on in earnest. Oh, there they are. We found Waldo. We found the USA fans. We found the Stars and Stripes. Where's PJ? PJ's abandoned his post. could have a stacked set of USA fans, but they're there hugging the boundary. They've got a tent set up. They came prepared. I'm on.
And they got some snacks in their hands too. They got some drinks going. They're feeling good. They're very refreshed.
Very organized. I like this. That's how you know they're locals. They knew what to expect coming out to Pearland today. And again, you go around the ground, you ask them, where are you from? Pearland. Not Houston. We're from Pearland. They're very prideful about the fact that they are a distinct municipality, their own city, Pearland, Texas, in Brazoria County, just south of the Houston city limits.
Just like I'm from Warsaw, Peter. I'm not from Raleigh, not from Chapel Hill, not from Durham. I'm from Warsaw.
And I know the former mayor of Lauderhill, Florida, Richard J. Kaplan, was equally precise about making sure everybody in Florida knows when international cricket comes to Florida, it's not Miami. It's not Fort Lauderdale. He has trademarked Lauderhill. I've seen him wear the T-shirt. He's got a trademarked Lauderhill, the cricket capital of the USA. Mayor Kaplan made those T-shirts. Very precise. First press conference I went to for a match in Florida, 2010. It's that over ends, 6 runs from it, 42 for 1 after 9. I went to the press conference. It was Sri Lanka taking on New Zealand. And Mayor Kaplan is at the press conference with the 2 captains. And I said to Mayor Kaplan, I raised my hand. As you see, Adil Alam is about to come on for his first spell in ODI cricket. I said, Mayor Kaplan, how does it feel to have international cricket coming to Fort Lauderdale? And he goes, I don't know. Why don't you ask the mayor of Fort Lauderdale? We're having international cricket in Lauderhill. I don't know what they're having in Fort Lauderdale. I know we're having international cricket in Lauderhill. He didn't hesitate to put me in my place. Very prideful about those things. Understandably so. Adil Alam comes on with medium pace first up. Big LBW shout, just straying down the pads, though.
Going back to that point of pride. Not many places you can host international cricket in the United States. So when you have it, you say, yeah, no, it's this particular spot. It's not any of the big places. It's our spot. And look at this one. Definitely well down the legs. Hit the outside of his front pad, so definitely was straying down the leg side.
Get some interesting places, names in Texas. You got Pearland, you've got Sugarland, very popular cricket area, a lot of junior cricket in Sugarland, north of here. This one keeps low. Again, we see a touch of inconsistent bounce, and this one nails Asif Sheikh in the knee in an exposed area. He was flexing his pad to try and stop it, and immediately the physio comes out as he took it flush. It looked like on the kneecap as he was flexing his leg to try and stop that. And when he flexed his knee, that padding just exposes that area just around the knee or above the knee, and he is in a world of hurt right now.
Might have been a slower ball for the batsman, but it comes just as quick. A couple of bounces, again, flush right on the knee there. He was just trying to bend over, and we'll get another look at that if we can. He beat the inside edge of Monik Patel. I think he almost felt Alam did that. Might have caught some of the inside edge as well. But it's caught again, like you said, Peter, hit flush on the knee. They've taken out the pads. Always hurts when anything hits the knee, and he's going to get help coming off of the field here.
This is looking quite serious for Asif Sheikh, the first choice wicketkeeper. Again, he's coming into the 11 today in place of Binod Bandari. Kept wicket yesterday, and immediately he's coming off the field. So, some concern there. We'll have a look at the replays. This one skidded low. You can see what happened. He just tried to use his thigh, the side of his body, to block that one, and instead, as a result of trying to turn sideways, he's got the pads in front of his legs, not to the side of his legs. And by trying to turn sideways, you get into that long barrier position. That's what you call it for outfielders who aren't wearing pads. He leaves his leg exposed, and that's why he's now being helped off by Shahid Keshvani, the Nepal fielding coach, as well as the physio is here on tour. It's Bubadu Desanayake showing a little bit of concern. And Binod Bandari is on now as a subfielder. This is something that's changed in recent years, just relaxing the regulations a bit. Now you can have a subfielder keep wicket. So Binod Bandari, who is not in the starting 11, is going to replace Asif Sheikh behind the stumps, coming on as a subfielder, and he's going to be allowed to keep wicket. Yeah, just going back to the point on a slightly lighter note. We've got Pearland, we got Sugarland in the Houston area. We've got the Woodlands up north. You get some other places. You got the Colony. That's in Dallas. Do you have any funky names in and around the Triangle area outside of Raleigh or Chapel Hill or Morrisville there, Amin?
Interestingly enough, there's a Mooresville, right? But there's also a Mooresville, spelled Moores-Ville. So if you're not careful, you get caught saying both at the same time, meaning one and saying the other. But nothing like Sugarland over there in North Carolina.
No, Sugarland. There's now Bandari is behind the stumps. And this one is signaled wide. And they're able to swap the strike, so it'll be 2 extras to the total added. Now, there was a movie way back in the 1970s, Steven Spielberg film called The Sugarland Express. Had Goldie Hawn in it. And it was set in Texas. So if anybody remembers that movie, The Sugarland Express, with Goldie Hawn, way back almost 50 years ago now. Directed by Steven Spielberg. That was one of his earliest movies. It's all set in Texas. Slower ball here. Just pops up a bit with Adil Alam rolling his fingers over the ball.
Yeah, and you can see it just pops up on Steven Taylor. Also cut in a little bit on him, hitting him high on the glove. Can last over a power play, and they're pretty even right now with Nepal. Both at 44, just for the moment.
Back of length and middled straight to extra current. Now, we got the Sugarland Express with Goldie Hawn, directed by Spielberg. Is there any movie we don't know about? It's got Morrisville in the title, Aman?
Not yet. Not yet, Peter. That's going to be my answer. Not yet.
There's still time.
There's still a lot of time to go. And again, with Church Street Park, you never know what's coming to Morrisville. We got Outer Banks, the TV show set in North Carolina.
That's right. That's on Netflix. Is that a popular one amongst the teenagers? It looks like, from what I read about it, it's a teenage kind of school drama a little bit. Do the junior cricketers in Morrisville, are they heavily into the Outer Banks?
The teenagers are, and the junior cricketer, they had been for a little bit. Again, everyone has their own preferences, but Outer Banks, you got to show love to a show representing your home state.
And this one's short and wide enough width for Taylor to find the Outer Banks of Musa Stadium's boundary. 4 runs to wrap up the power play. 6 runs in the over, 4 off the bat, 48 for 1 after 10.
And a great way to end the power play. There's been a bunch of dot balls, a couple of wides. But then Alam this time just got short, got a little bit wide, and Steven Taylor able to punish him just for the last delivery of the power play. And the cut shot just raced away through that point region. No fielder able to get a hand to it. They weren't going to stop it. And that got the Dole playing a little bit.
I'm loving this. Amar Motoru's got the stars and stripes wrapped around the Dole. Amar is the Dolly. He's got the Ali Kanhe, Hamari, Shan. Which, explain again for the people who are not up to speed on their Hindi and Urdu. Aman, what is that translation?
Stephen Taylor puts this one away. Ali Khan, you are our pride. Ali Khan is our pride.
And then just kind of in the next gazebo over on the west side boundary, you've got Chakte America, America Zindabad.
Go for it, America, and long live America.
And again, those come from what you would say on the top there would be more a chant associated with India, Chakte India, and below it, it's usually Pakistan Zindabad. It's the chant you hear at cricket matches involving Pakistan, but Amar has melded both to reflect the melting pot of American cricket. The stars and stripes, the map of America there, imposed on that wonderful poster Amar Maturu, super fan in the Houston area, has made. As Sandeep Lamachani brings himself on right at the end of the power play. We're in the 11th over now, so he can push back some extra protection on the boundary. He's done so. He's got deep mid-wicket, long on, long off, and a cover sweeper in place. So 4 boundary riders immediately for the Nepal captain, bringing himself on in the 11th over.
And again, we've seen spinners tighten things down. Not today, though. The spinners were rather expensive. Is that a trend we'll continue to see? The U.S. would hope so. Or will the Nepali spinners hold true what's happened all series long?
Taylor, a little bit nervy there on that shot.
It hasn't looked in complete flow today yet, Stephen Taylor. It did have the on drive, had the shot over the top of long on and the point cut. But never looked to really settle in yet.
Taylor and Monank, like most of the USA players, really struggled against Lamachani back in February 2020 in Nepal. Just being very watchful here. And it was in that February 2020 tour where USA was infamously bowled out for 35. And Lamachani took 6 for 16 on that occasion. And in that tour, Monank Patel scores of 19, 4, 0, and 4. This one in the air, dropped at backward point, straightforward chance, and it's shelled, incredibly so, by, looks like Kushal Bertil, number 14. That was a very straightforward chance. And again, Monank Patel is somebody who struggled historically against Lamachani. Should have been out at backward point. Kushal Bertil can't hold on to a straightforward chance. That's right in that zone. We saw Aman where Bilal Khan didn't come forward to a chance, didn't quite carry, was indecisive a couple days ago in that USA Oman match. This one, no doubt about it, straight to Kushal Bertil, and he shells it.
Straight to him, and he put it down. And again, that's just, it wasn't a sharp catch that was needed. It was just more of a very simple catch, a little bit low to the ground, but he was already down on the ground anyway to take it. He just put it down. Again, Monank Patel, he's coming off 100. He's in incredible nick, and we know Sandeep has caused problems for him historically. But to put that one down, let's see how costly that is. Again, Monank Patel only on 7 at the moment. And would that prove to be a costly drop on what looked to be one of the simplest of chances?
Monank was able to bounce back after that tour in February 2020. He scored the century against Nepal in Muscat last September, 100 off 114 balls. They were a lot more cautious against Lamichane, who only took 2 for 35 in that match. But when you balance out the complete record against Lamichane, it's been Sandy Lamichane who has won more battles than he lost against USN. He should have won another one here, if not for the drop by Kush Alberto at backward point.
Just take a look at it. He slices it. And again, in his hands, it's there. It's simple. That's what you want if you're standing there at point. Again, you're not going to see many easier chances if you're Kush Alberto there at backward point. Very disappointing drop, and Monunk survives.
And a cutter there, bowled by Alam. And a shy at the striker's end. Pressure being applied by both teams here as they're looking for quick runs to keep the strike turning over, but the door is ajar for Nepal to convert one of these chances. They haven't been able to do it in the recent moments here, though. Aman.
Yeah, and this is the second time we've seen a throw clip Monunk Patel. The first time hit off his bat, this time off his pad. But again, you can see from Stephen Taylor the way he's playing, he's just not completely comfortable yet. But he's smart. He's not trying to soak things up and force the issue, just trying to keep it rotating.
This one speared down the leg side, an extra added to the total.
And these are just freebies for the U.S. right now. Again, there's pressure on the side of the United States. Everything right now in the favor of Nepal. Monunk Patel coming off just getting dropped. Got to erase that from his mind pretty quickly. Just giving him a freebie, just a quick wide, takes a lot of that pressure off. Again, build the dot balls. Alam, he's been full. If you can find the length, he's getting it to cut around.
I'm trying to run this to third man. Beaten on the outside edge. This is really sharp bowling from Adil Alam on his ODI debut.
Second time we've seen it in this over, right? Stephen Taylor, the first delivery, try to run it down again and just bounces over him and move just a touch away. This time from Monunk Patel coming over the bat again. Again, when Alam's been on a length, he's been very hard to play because he just gets a little bit more bounce and he has the ability to cut it in either direction.
This one mistimed into the ground. Now, Stephen Taylor, his record at tour of Nepal in February 2020 was so awful for him. His worst tour in a U.S. uniform. Scores a 4, out fifth ball for duck, out second ball for duck. That 35 all-out game, he didn't even play, and he was dropped from the 11. But if you look either side of that, he's actually got a very good record historically against Nepal. As Monunk flicks this wide, the ring for a single. Scored a 92 off 63 balls in a player of the match performance in Muscat last September to beat Nepal. That was USA's only win of the 4 matches they played in that series. And those matches split between Nepal and Oman. But in Pubudu Desanaika's first stint as Nepal head coach, 2013, Stephen Taylor scored 162 off 101 balls. It's the second highest, third highest now score in USA history. At the time, it was the second highest score. Sushil Nadkarni has got the record, 197 against Suriname, 2008 in Florida. But Stephen Taylor had the second highest score for the longest time until Jaskar Malhotra's unbeaten 173 against Papua New Guinea eclipsed that. But that came in 2013, April of 2013 in Bermuda, that match against Nepal, where USA hammered Nepal on the opening day of ICC World Cricket League Division 3. Put up a total of 366 for 6. Stephen Taylor top scoring in that match with 162. That's his career best in a USA uniform. Player of the match on that occasion. Player of the match last September against Nepal in Oman. And USA will need a player of the match effort from Stephen Taylor again here if they're going to set what would be a USA record chase in limited overs cricket. Lamichane to continue as this one is punched back firmly to the Nepal captain off his own bowling.
And again, the Moose has been a historic stadium for the United States. Can it provide another piece of history? Can it be a part of it? And you just have a feeling these two have to go and bat long. Monik Patel hasn't been in flow yet. But a couple of nice flicks off of the hip. But Sandeep has put a pin in his innings so far.
Flighted more, and Monak with a confident stride forward to smother the turn.
Again, we saw Nepal take advantage of the USA spinners. Just keep milking them for singles. So far, USA unable to do the same.
Too short. Monak tries to flick it off his hips, but short final leg fielder is in place to deny the run there.
3 dot balls, pressure building. Again, Monak 8 off of 23 now. Just got to find a way to get it going. Does he try something rash now?
And again, too short. And he picks the gap behind square, the sweeper. There's a long way to go. Sushan Bari, as well as sliding along the turf. So cut it off for 2. There's been a lot of runs saved here in the early going. Dipendra Singh Irie has saved at least 10. And now Sushan Bari, quick along the turf to keep that one inside the rope. Too full and easily tapped. Contest between Alam and Monak Patel continues.
Good morning, Patel just hasn't been in full flow quite yet. But a couple of nice shots. I mean, since he's starting to get it going.
Slower ball attempted, and Monak picks it easily and whacks that straight down the ground. And it goes all the way for 6. Leslie Reefer Jr. signaling a maximum. The first of the innings for USA.
Well, sorry about that one, Patel. You are getting it going. You look in full flow. Now again, pick the slower ball very, very early. A fuller length delivery here again from Adil. It just hits it straight back down the ground for 6. I retract my previous statement about Monik Patel not looking in flow. Got onto all of that one.
Back of length this time. Are you requesting to strike that from the record? Are you in court, Your Honor? Yeah, please strike that statement. Remove it from the jury evidence.
Well, maybe just a little bit. Because that strike was so elegant, so classy, and again, he just picked up the slower ball so quickly. Made it look really easy going straight back. Not
able to get a single on this occasion because Alam got close enough to the ball to let that run in doubt. Talamachani at mid-on. Is that Monank Patel has hit throughout this tour. I don't think a single one of them you could call a slog. Every one of them has just been a firmly timed orthodox cricket shot. And another off-pace delivery. Shy of the stumps from Kushal Bertel, trying to atone for the drop chance. But he goes high over the stumps with Taylor struggling for a single there. This will be an interesting replay, Aman.
Yeah, we got to take a look at this one. Props to the keeper, able to pack that one up. Really nicely done. Dives out low to his left. You won't be able to see that on screen. But again, it looked awfully close from our angle.
Another slower ball. Islam continues to prefer the off-pace deliveries. 7-run over. 63 for 1 after 14. Here's a look at that possible run-out chance. Kushal Bertel on the covers.
Both were hot to get off the mark. Stephen Taylor looks like he... Oh, that looks very close from that angle. Again, bat was definitely all along the ground. Just where was it? This angle will definitely give us a better look. Again, Monank took off very quickly. Stephen was also rather quick to take off. But landing seemed to have been the issue. Looked like he would have been out to me, Peter.
Very, very tight.
Very, very tight.
Yeah, I think just on that side angle, it looks like the bat might have been just short of the line. Everything decided on field this week. There's no third umpire replays for line decisions, so it would have had to be decided by Vijay Malella on field. But from that replay, you said it, Aman, it looks like Taylor might have been just short, so might mark that down as a chance. Taylor with a life on 25. And Kushal Bertel again, the guilty party, if you want to call him that. Drop chance with Monank Patel on 7, and now missed run-out chance with Stephen Taylor on 25.
Again, how many missed chances can you collect and still be okay? U.S. missed a couple of chances early just with the run-outs. Cost them a couple of big 50-run partnerships.
Taylor, it's one of his bread and butter shots, just rocking onto the back foot to the spinners and just powering it through the offside, picks out the sweeper for 1.
And if you're Lamashana, you can't give Stephen Taylor the luxury of just hanging back and cutting it away. You can make him reach, let it spin. The googly is your stock ball, make it move across of him.
And again, just a fraction too short. It's too easy to play him off the pitch. Lamachani troubles batters most at 20. Gives it some more air, gets it a touch fuller.
And it seems to be a struggle from both sides today. Just well too short with the leg spinners. Flat it up, make the batsman reach, let it turn.
Much better delivery. Punch straight back. Yeah, we saw him as the two captains have a stare down out in the middle. We saw that delivery that bowled Muhammad Nadeem 2 days ago. Googly that went through the gap between Pat and Pad prodding forward. See a Mariners jersey in there. The Mariners were in town earlier in the week against the Astros. It was the Marlins that the USA squad went to Minute Maid Park and saw last night. The Mariners were hosted by the Astros, division rivals, earlier in the week.
A tough series for the Astros, losing 6-3 in the final game and then coming back and losing 7-4 to the Marlins.
And Googly beats the outside edge. Taylor, that's where he's dangerous. Lamachani, when he gets it on that good to full length and keeps it to just 3 runs in that over. 66 for 1 after 15.
And that's what I was talking about, Peter. That's the length if you're Lamachane. Let it turn across Steven Taylor. He's got to pick. If he picks wrong, if there's a slight nick, you have your man. But when you go short, it's just way too easy for Steven Taylor.
You're watching live coverage of this SkyExchange.net ICC Cricket World Cup League 2 ODI Tri-Series supported by Dream 11 on Willow TV in North America, Fan Code in the Asian subcontinent, and ICC TV around the rest of the world. I'm Peter Della Penna, joined in the commentary booth here at Musa Stadium by Aman Patel. I'm PDP, and I've got AP next to me as the folks online are now christening Aman. It's his new moniker, apparently. As Dipendra Singh Irie comes into the attack with his off spin. Slip in place. He darts this in very quick. It's Arif Sheikh alongside Vinod Bandari. In case you've also just joined us, Asif Sheikh was starting behind the stumps today, designated wicketkeeper in the starting 11. He's injured. He was trying to stop a delivery that skidded low off the bowling of Adil Alam. Flexed his leg sideways to try and block it with his thigh, and it wound up clinging straight into the top of the knee. And so he's had to leave the field. And Binod Bandari, who was replaced in the 11 today by Asif Sheikh, has had to come in anyway. And he's now keeping wicket as a substitute behind the stumps. But Asif's brother Arif still on the field in its slip. As we're quite a few miles away from Hobby Airport on the south side of Houston, Aman. But we've got an unidentified flying object hovering over the field now. A drone is approaching the square as Taylor late cuts this very delicately. It's going to tease the ball fielder all the way to the rope, and it hits the rope. 4 runs. As Taylor uses the pace offered by Irie's very quick darts and just rides that to the third man rope.
We've seen Dipendra Singh Irie fire him in for the past couple of days. And this is the run out angle. And that missed chance, how much will it cost him? Well, there's 4 there that it costs. And just runs it down to third man, Steven Taylor. And now they bring in that slip.
This one full on the legs. Now, this is not a drone camera that's part of Spider Cam or anything else you might see in a stadium. This is just a drone. It's now hovering directly over the pitch. And we saw a lot of misfields in the field by USA, and this time an overthrow results in a second run for Taylor. 7 runs in the over, 73 for 1 after 16, and apparently that unidentified flying object has now been identified by Umair Khan, our producer. It's part of the Cricket Club's IMG production. We don't have live camera connection for that, but they are collecting some footage that you might see later on over the course of the final ODIs.
They got all the tools. They got the stump cam. They got the aerial cam. They got all the cameras around the ground giving you this great view and all the great views you've seen. Great job done by the production team here between Cricket Clubs and IMG.
I knew it was not an Andrew Leonard drone because Andrew Leonard's drone crashed off the coast of Fort Lauderdale into the Atlantic Ocean when he was trying to capture some amazing stuff out of the USA Ireland series in December.
It's a great video to watch. He somehow got the video back and That was a terrific video to go and see.
The magic of the cloud. The footage was going straight to his phone, so even though the drone is lost forever in the Atlantic Ocean, he still got the footage. And this one, a googly spinning down the leg for a wide. And Andrew Leonard, I'm sure a lot of people out there in Nepal, elsewhere around the world, in the USA, wondering, where is Andrew Leonard? Andrew's just a little bit under the weather. He's just taking a few days off. And we hope to have Andrew Leonard back before too long. But it's myself, Peter Della Penna, and Aman Patel holding down the fort until Lenny is healthy again. We know he's watching just a few miles away from his hotel room. As Mononk flicks this into the leg side for a single. And I know a lot of people have been sending their well wishes to Andrew Leonard, and he's been appreciating all of them. And you can continue to send Lenny your positive messages at Cricket Badge. That's Andrew Leonard on Twitter. He's a big deal in Nepal.
He's a big deal everywhere he goes.
This is true. As a thick edge from Taylor goes squirting through cover to Alam, who scuffs that one, rockets it in against the turf. They're trying to get that ball scuffed up to make it better for the spinners. And when he's on that Cricket Badge, I think everybody in Nepal knows that. I don't need to tell you what his Twitter handle is. Big appeal. Mononk prodding forward. It looks like he got outside the line, despite the aggressive yelps from Lamachane and echoed by the rest of the Nepal fans in the West stand.
Yeah, another close call, but he's doing much better with the length this over, Lamachane. Pitching it up, letting it spin, making the Americans guess which way it's going to go. That one very nearly being a wicket, and I think you're right, Peter. I think it just impacted outside the line.
It's too easy on the back foot. It's chipped away out towards Alam on the leg side rope. It'll be a single to end the over. 3 runs off the bat. 4 runs total in the over. 77 for 1 after 17. I'm Peter Della Penna. You can get me at Peter Della Penna. Peter DELLAPENNA. Alongside Aman Patel. His handle on Twitter is at AP Sports News _. Don't forget the underscore. AP Sports News _ You can tweet us. Tell us where you're watching the broadcast from, what you think of the state of play. We'll try and get some of those tweets read out on air as Irie starts his second over. And a firm punch by Mononk, who's batting with his cap on now, and just jogs casually for 1. Got one from Steve Steinberg. Says he's watching, I'm assuming from his home in Massachusetts. Not a bad way to spend a Saturday. I hope yours is going well, too. Well, I hope yours is going well, Steve, because if you're in Massachusetts, I'm assuming you're in an air-conditioned home instead of out here in the 100-degree heat. Taylor goes big, tries to clear long on, but he's not going to do it. And it's put down. Straightforward chance, and the fielder signals 6. Stephen Taylor, another life offered by Nepal in the field, who have been incredibly sloppy in this chase, Aman. That was a straightforward chance as far as boundary chances go. Picked out the man on the rope. Got there in plenty of time.
And it should have been a catch. Again, we got to see where he was landing, because it looked like he landed over the boundary rope anyway.
Sagar Dakal, who's on the field as a sub.
Nonetheless, again, this is the 6 from Mononk Patel. Very straight away from all the fielders. Stephen Taylor, not as well placed. Again, We got to get a look at that one. But that could possibly be the second life given to Steven Taylor. And this one, a definite chance. Again, where did he land is going to be the big question. It looked like it just went straight in and out of his hands once again, Peter.
Yeah, I'm looking through my binoculars. It's definitely number 18, Sagar Dakel, who's on the field as a sub. He's at the extreme far end of the ground from us. We're at deep fine leg from where Steven Taylor is batting, and Sagar Dakel is at long on, so it's about 150 yards away. And looking through the lens, it's Sagar Dakel who put that chance down. It should have been a 6, should have been Taylor, out for 33. Instead, it goes through his hands and over the rope for 6. Well, it was signaled as 6, I thought, initially. It's being shown as 4 now. It looks like it has been changed. Regardless, the drop definitely came on 33. So it's a 7-run over. 84 for 1 after 18.
Again, if you're going to keep dropping them, keep giving them lives, it's going to be a very long day for Nepal.
Single by Monak to start the 19th. We'll try and get a look at the replay if we can. Taylor with a late cut. Picks out the man on the ring.
Again, you can see Steven Taylor, he wants to hang on the back foot for some deep. Let it spin and just use the pace on the ball. And I think when Sandeep's got it right, you know he's a world-class bowler, but more often than not, just isn't in the right areas. Just makes it quite simple on the two Americans in the middle.
Crowd catch.
And the crowd is going to go crazy with every delivery Lamachane bowls. He's their hero. And the U.S. doing well enough to just keep it rotating whilst he's bowling. We saw Oman early on. Sandeep at one point had about 5 overs, just giving up 5 runs and taking 2 wickets.
Half tracker yanked through the leg side by Taylor, but he's just going to get one for it as it's very sharp work out on the boundary. So 4 singles in the over, 88 for 1 after 19.
Again, this is the 6, or the 4 rather, and Ari's over. Again, it was high up in the air. The fielder's coming around, and he settled underneath it, and he's completely spilt it. But anyway, had he caught it and landed, his knee was over.
That's just poor body positioning, and you can see him signal for 6. If we can wind that back a bit, I want to see where that ball landed. It looked like it did go over the rope for 6, but it was scored as a 4. And it looked like his left leg, I think he just lost his balance at the end. It just clipped the ground. Here's the replay again. His left leg, he just kind of stumbles. He gets his feet clipped together. And you can see that left leg, all of a sudden, it turns sideways. He loses his balance. And that looks like it should have been scored as a 6. Instead, it's been scored as a 4. He initially signaled 6. The fielder, Sagar Dakel, look, you can see he put his hands up for 6. Not sure what happened, why it wound up being scored as a 4 in the end. And it has been corrected as a 6. So the score does reflect now that it was indeed a 6, so it's 90 for 1. That is correctly credited as a 6.
Get another chance given to Steven Taylor. Peter, we know what he can do in a chase. One of my first experiences with USA Cricket was Steven Taylor chasing a Canadian total downer T20 match. 22 off a 6 needed. Steven Taylor gets it done with back-to-back 6s in 2018. So if he stays in, it's always going to be entertaining.
Monarch just short of Dev Connell. An extra cover, and they'll just get one off it. And he said 22 off 6. He only needed 5 balls in the end.
Only needed those 5 balls, and again, just absolutely laid out. Then that Canadian bowling lineup.
Junaid Siddiqui was the leg spinner who was on the receiving end of that Taylor onslaught. And from memory, it was 6, and then back-to-back 2s down the ground, and then 6, 6. To win that match with a ball to spare. And that was after USA had lost a super over match just a few days earlier to the same Canadian team. And again, you see how good Pretty... Check that Dipendra Singh Ari. There is a Pretty Bari. He's not here. Pretty Bari. There's a number of Iris who played for Nepal. But Dipendra Singh Ari is the one out with the ball in hand now. And Taylor goes big. No doubt about that one. That's going to thud into the sight screen. Big 6 by Steven Taylor to bring up a half century. His first of this tour of Texas. And it comes at a crucial time. USA facing what would be a record total chase down. And not even really any acknowledgement of any kind by Taylor. He's got bigger things in mind for USA. Big appeal, flicking.
It was all middle stump and Steven Taylor. That was all the invitation he needed to send Ari over for another 6.
He runs in the over 98 for 1. After 20, again, USA chasing a target of 275. Monarch batting with the hat on. If we can see... I'm not sure where he is in the field now, but before he had a towel inside of his hat. He had a towel on his head, and then the cap over the towel. Again, some creative solutions being made by a lot of the players and the umpires to try and keep themselves cool here in Texas. As Sushant Bari comes into the attack for left arm spin. He bowled with the new ball 2 days ago against Oman. And on this occasion, instead of taking the new ball, he waits until the 21st over to enter the attack with his left arm spin.
Yeah, they like to bring him on a little bit later. And again, the Pacers did bowl quite well early on. They clamped him down. I think just to have some more options here in the middle overs of play. Again, the 4th highest wicket taker in ODI cricket for Nepal since gained status in 2018.
Taylor with a late cut. It's going to backspin away. Sagar Dakal giving chase. He's the man who put down that chance on the rope of Taylor a short time ago, and he flags it down.
And Steven Taylor listenings has really fallen in love with this shot here of just running it down to third man time and time again. He's just been hanging back on the crease a little bit. And Nepal, they bowl quick through the air. And it's been quicker off the wicket. He's just using the pace to let it run down.
Easy single out to Karan KC sweeping on the offside rope.
That time, more conventional cut. Again, it was a little bit loopier. Stephen Taylor, he wants to play everything on the back foot here for the spinners. Unless he can free up his arms, it feels like he wants to kind of hang back. That's where he's been getting the majority of his runs. Something to look at if you're Nepal.
And this one, more of a paddle shot. Picks out short fine leg on the ring.
And we've seen that fielder, that short fine leg fielder, in place for both Nepal and Oman whenever the spinners are bowling. Oman had one of their better fielders there.
This time, a much more confident punch by Monank. Straight down the ground for one.
And it's been a good start for the United States. Going to target a 275. They're just a touch under the required run rate, but can always accelerate later. This partnership has been really good here.
Five runs in the over. 103 for one. After 21. We'll take a look at the worm between these two sides. And you can see Nepal, who brought up their team 100 in the 20th over. USA just fractionally behind. You can see that kind of teal blue line. Just a shade under what Nepal did in the first innings. And if you look at the end, Nepal was on course for what looked like a 300-plus score until those 7 speed bumps at the end.
Yeah, that's what really cost Nepal from having the States be chasing a total above 300 with all that scoreboard pressure. Just a total of 275. Again, 275 is not a terrible score to chase, but this partnership has been really huge for the States. 77 from 92 deliveries. And again, two of the more experienced players on the team. The captain, a former captain. Both of whom making big impacts.
Had a mini drinks break of sorts. That's the cause for the slight delay as Monank continues with a single into the offside.
The free flow could get in trouble.
And it's a simple chip in the air. Mid-off is up in the ring. Save shot by Stephen Taylor. Finds the rope for 4.
Just like I said, Peter, he's been a touch full at times. Stephen Taylor didn't have to do much with that fielder inside the circle. Just had to get it over him. Failed to do that against Oman. This time, does it against Nepal. Just a little chip over the top again. Look at it. Got to be coming around. It's just a touch full. And it's just a slight touch over the top. Has 4 more for Stephen Taylor.
Back to live action. And this one again over pitched. It'll only be a single on this occasion, picking out the long on fielder.
And again, if you're going to bowl that full, I'm not sure why that fielder wouldn't be outside. Again, if that's the plan, at least for Stephen Taylor. For Monang Patel, again, he's hit one of down the ground as well. You're going to have the fielder out, and you're going to bowl that length. I'd rather those fielders be out, if not change the length.
I think it's just a funny plan that Bhuvan Desanaika might have because historically Stephen Taylor It's a place where he's been caught often in his career, trying to go over the top. And we saw it happen a couple days ago against Oman, where Bilal Khan, with Medoff up in the ring, Stephen Taylor, in an uncontrolled drive, one hand flying off the bat, just chipped it straight up to Medoff. And I think he's just trying to tease him, but Medoff has gone back to the rope now. Lamachane. So long off, long on are in place. Deep square leg and a sweeper on the offside. Those are the 4 boundary riders to Taylor.
Again, this is the length I really like from Sumpalkami. Again, he's just found a good length and it's been hard to go on the back foot and pull. So this is where I would like to see Kami continue to pull and continue to be for Stephen Taylor.
Taylor with just a firm prod. 7 runs in the over. 110 for 1. After 22, as we're getting another drinks delay, run onto the field. And here's the drone shot. Umair Khan and the Cricket Club's production team, along with IMG, bringing you these beautiful pictures of Pearland, Texas, the Mosa Cricket Stadium. There's the West Grandstand. You can see all that ranch land in Pearland. So it's in country Texas, well outside of the Houston city limits. And that's where we're giving you this broadcast. The SkyExchange.net ICC Cricket World Cup 2 ODI trophies, supported by Dream 11. If you're in North America, you're watching on Willow TV, either on the actual TV network itself or on YouTube. Stream on the Willow TV YouTube channel. And as USA going after a target of 275, which would be a record chase for USA in their limited overs history.
Again, they're going to need these 2 to bat deep if they want to do it.
This one, 2 straight on the legs and flicked delicately by Monank Patel. I'll collect 2 for that. And might get more sloppy from Nepal. You can't afford to be this loose in the field. And what should have been 2 turns into 3, as we've seen both sides commit some mental errors in the field, just relaxing their concentration on these relays in, which have produced a number of extra runs courtesy of overthrows. We just see it again today, right there.
Again, just some sloppy work in the field from both sides, costing Nepal some runs.
Taylor going for the slide sweep. Clears the leg side easily. No protection out there. Bouncing away for 4, and that compounds the error. Stephen Taylor should not have been on strike. You've got a left arm spinner turning the ball into him, straying on the legs, and Taylor is only too happy to get on one knee and propose to launch that over the leg side behind square.
Too full, too far down the leg side. And Stephen Taylor very quick on it. Was pitching outside leg, so brought the LBW out of play. And he just, as you said, proposed to play it over the leg side for 4 more runs. Looking in really good nick now, Stephen Taylor.
And the umpire said, yes, that is a boundary. Taylor looking very good here on 63. Should have been run out on 25. And then was dropped on 33, right on the straight boundary at long on. And he's making Nepal pay for it now. 9 runs in this over. USA 119 for 1 after 23. And yet more drinks being hustled out. This time by Sai Mukamal, USA sub, to the 2 batters out in the middle.
And if we look at what the USA have done. They haven't let the spinners bog them down, taking the page out of the Nepal playbook. Again, Nepal just 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Didn't really have a lot of boundary strokes. Well, Stephen Taylor there, like I said, if he continues to bat, he's going to continue to put on a flurry of shots.
Got a message from Santosh, watching from Malaysia. It's 5:30 in the morning. This is the sleepless night for me, enjoying the match. Looks like it's 50-50. What do you guys say? Well, at this stage, USA is looking awfully comfortable because Nepal really stuttered quite badly in their last 10 overs, really 7 overs in particular. And they should have gotten past 300. And USA not really troubled since the spectacular catch by Sompo Kami to dismiss Sushant Madani. That's been the only blip in USA innings as Adil Alam comes back into the attack. And with fine leg up in the ring, that's an easy boundary. Straying on the pads, and Monarch makes him pay.
Too full, down the leg side, and too easy for a batsman who's in form. Monarch Patel not going to miss out. It's a very simple shot for him to play again. Fine leg inside the circle. Alam, we've seen it time and time again. He's straight down the leg side far too often. He's gone too full far too often. And you've seen the ball go past the rope far too often. Again, way too easy for a batsman of Monarch Patel's class who's in form.
Monarch just prods that into mid-wicket, and if you can believe that, it's only Monarch's second 4. He's got 1-6 straight down the ground. Stephen Taylor across from him, 7 4s and 2 6s in his innings so far.
Again, I think both have understood when is the time to take off, and they've played to the merit of the ball, played the shot when they had to, and then just ran the singles. We have some jokes on Twitter, Peter. PhD Monarch tags me, says, just checking I got it correct or not. Yes, you did, PhD Monarch, for the underscore in the right spot.
And leaping effort by Adil Alam to knock that one down off his own bowling. Looks this out to Karan KC on the sweeper boundary for 1.
And again, for Alam, the dangers of getting too full is making it too easy. On Stephen Taylor, keep hitting the length. Make Stephen Taylor work for it.
Slower ball here. Goes off the pad, down the leg side, so it's not going to be called a wide. And it'll end a 5-run over. 124 for 1 after 24. And it's going to bring the second drinks break. You're watching live coverage of the SkyExchange.net ICC Cricket World Cup League 2 ODI Tri-Series, supported by Dream 11. There is state of play on your screen. We're going to take a short break and be right back. USA 124 for 1, chasing the target of 275. And we're back underway here now as two singles collected by USA to resume play after the second drinks break. Again, a reminder, we're having 3 drinks breaks today because it is so hot. It was agreed to by the match officials. 97 degrees here with humidity and a heat index making it closer to 107 degrees Fahrenheit, 41 degrees Celsius. It's hot, sticky, uncomfortable. I want to make sure everybody's hydrated and staying safe. Peter Delapenna here in the commentary booth, joined by Aman Patel. Got my trusty yellow notepad. Got my binoculars. And I've got AP, my guy AP next to me. On the call here. Taylor, we've seen this a number of times today. It's been a productive scoring shot for him. That late cut. And he collects another 2 with it here.
Again, he's just been using the pace of the spinners. These spinners have been a little bit quicker than we saw out of the U.S. And anytime they go quicker and anytime they give him any width, Stephen Taylor has just elected to run it down. A third man knows there's at least one over there. As you see the drone that gave you that great aerial view on your screen. It's going into its landing orbit now.
And he goes big. Does he get all of it? Yes, he does. This one's going to go into the west grandstand fence over Sampokami. Another 6. Stephen Taylor.
And you could see from Bar, he just went a little bit too full, trying to overcorrect from that run down to third man. He wanted to change it, not allow him to do it again. This time went too full. Stephen Taylor says, thank you very, very much. And I'll send this one over the top for another 6. And Stephen Taylor's starting to get it going. And he's starting to feel that Stephen Taylor rhythm. Look at this. Getting those quick goes well outside the off stump, so he had the freedom to play through the line. And bang over the top. And 6 more for Stephen Taylor.
Oh, it was 1 shot. Oh, okay. So actually, in the 2 run by USA in that over off Taylor, one of the runs was signaled 1 short, if you can believe that. Just a slight mental lapse from USA there after the drinks break. So Taylor moves to 71. It's at 6 to end the over. It should have been an 11-run over. It's actually a 10-run over with 1 short run signaled. And Monank begins on strike.
And these two, I think, have been really good at not forcing the issue. Just trying to get singles and doubles here and there, and then when the ball appears, when you get the rare gift to take advantage. And if these two continue to bat through and bat deep, going to be in a good spot.
Change in the field here for Taylor as deep fine leg now comes into the ring. Just a firm punch to long on. Taylor is closing in today on the all-time record for USA in limited overs cricket. He needed 108 runs to pass Steve Messiah on the all-time list. As USA's all-time leading scorer in limited overs cricket. It's ODIs, List A, and non-List A matches in events like the World Cricket League that didn't have List A status, but in which you had elite associate cricket teams like USA and Nepal, as no ball is signaled on an overstep. And He was going for the slower ball. We've seen him mix up his pace routinely here, but on that occasion, just disrupts his rhythm and causes an overstep and leads to a free hit coming up to Monang Patel.
And just take a look at the replay here. Yep, nothing behind the line again. That's the key.
And he goes for the wide Yorker, scored it out on the free hit to Sagar Dakel. Had it deep third man. Taylor, already in this Texas tour, became USA's most capped player, passing Steve Messiah for the most number of matches played for USA in limited overs cricket. The former USA men's captain who played from 2000 to 2014 for USA. Stephen Taylor's senior team career started in 2010. As I said, came into today needing 108 runs to pass Steve Messiah. And it means he's just 36 away. Aman has had a number of really sharp innings in ODI cricket, 3 half-centuries since USA got their ODI status back in 2019. 23 ODIs coming into today for Taylor. And they played those 2 ODIs in 2004. And then the resumption of ODIs for USA since 2019 when they got that status back at World Cricket League Division 2 in Namibia. Those 2 ODIs in 2004 came against Australia and New Zealand at the Champions Trophy in England. Some extremely lopsided matches. Nathan Astle scored a blistering century against USA in a New Zealand victory. Slower ball again, as Taylor is just keen to tap it back. Still plenty of time for USA to catch up if need be, but they're going along at a decent rate right now. Just 1 over past the halfway point of the chase, and USA is knocked off just more than half the runs required. 138 for 1 after 26.
And again, I think I've said it before and I'll say it again. These two have done a real good job of understanding when to go big and when to just play it through. I think that was a message that had to have been sent out from the dugout, this partnership. Good for 112 runs from 122 deliveries. And I think the message had to have been just bat through, bat deep. The runs will come. They'll give you the balls to hit. Just bat through and bat on. These two have done a really good job since the initial wicket of Sushant Modani to come and make a stand. And again, Stephen Taylor looks in some blind touch at the moment.
And we're seeing a change now as Sushan Bari taken out of the attack after 3 overs of ineffective left arm spin. Going back to Karan KC. 5 overs, 1 maiden, none for 20. You can see the Nepal fans starting to make a bit more noise, trying to get behind Karan KC.
And they know they need a wicket. Nepal faithful. They can't let these two bat on.
Back of the lane to Monang, taking on a tight single. And he gets it after a fumble at mid-off. Ensures the run is completed. And it's Dipendra Singh Irie.
Been very good angling him into the stumps, making life difficult. Brings it away and back in to both the left and right hander. So got to be watchful for this over.
Getting strays on the legs, around the wicket. Dev Connell giving chase. He's not going to get there. 4-leg buys. Signaled by Vijay Malella.
Yeah, he's going to be disappointed with that effort from himself there. And again, it's just straying down the leg side. He's been trying to angle it in. You can see the frustration on Karan Casey's face. He's been sent in to bring a wicket. Sent in to make something happen. Again, this time just straying down the legs, being more expensive than productive.
This time back of length and just tap back. With the exception of a few instances, Aman, where the ball skidded low early, including that delivery that KO'd Asif Sheikh, sent him off the field to be replaced behind the stumps by Binod Bandari. Balance has been true. We haven't seen that deterioration in this chase of the wicket like we've seen in a number of other occasions here at Musa. All indications are USA is on course for what would be their best chase ever in limited overs cricket.
Again, they're doing all the work they need to do. Just the good punches, not letting dot balls pile up. They're able to get that boundary every over or so. Keeping Nepal on their toes, the USA. And again, these two, they don't have to do anything special. Just got to bat deep and bat through. No need to force anything.
Six runs in the over, 2 off the bat, 144 for 1 after 27. Another change in the bowling attack is our Sheikh will come on for the first time today with Stephen Taylor on strike. And Vinod Bandari is going to come up to the stumps.
Again, you got to try something different here if you're Nepal. You can't just allow the USA to just play it out. Try to create something different. Try to create some confusion, some Trying to break the partnership. And again, that time just angling down, and that change of angle can always create some problems first up.
It's just a worrying sign there. Taylor on his haunches and then just kind of rubbing at his back. And nearly a return chance again. Taylor just maybe slightly losing his concentration a bit. As you can see, the conditions starting to take their toll on Taylor. He's on his haunches again as the over ends 5 runs from it, 149 for 1 after 28. And there again, you can see the beautiful started his career as a wicketkeeper for USA. And now he's flat on the ground, just drinking some water. Again, it's so hot here, but you can see Moosa Stadium, some wonderful drone camera shots provided by Umair Khan and the Cricket Clubs and IMG production team. We're bringing you this coverage of this SkyExchange.net ICC Cricket World Cup League 2 ODI Tri-Series supported by Dream 11 here at Moosa Stadium in Pearland, Texas. And there again is a good look at Stephen Taylor, who is just experiencing a slowdown here in this Texas heat. And the umpires are being a little bit lenient. 3 scheduled drinks breaks, 1 more than usual. And in these conditions, 97 degrees Fahrenheit with the heat index and the humidity coming off the Gulf of Mexico. That moist sea air not too far away from here makes the real feel go past 107 degrees. That's 40 degrees, 41 degrees Celsius. And this image almost reminds me of George Foreman later in his career, boxing career. He wouldn't sit down in the corner because if he sat down, he was worried he wouldn't be able to get back up. And Taylor needs some help to get back on his feet. That's the physical toll that these conditions are taking on everybody, but in particular, the USA opener. You can see the drone shot here. That's Balky's Field. That's the nursery ground on the north side. You're looking north now. If you can look way out into the distance in the horizon, that's Houston. And again, we're not in Houston. This is Pearland, and that underscores it better than just about anything.